Good day, Internet, and welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. I am your host for the evening. My name is Advocate of Words, and happy Monday to everyone. Oh, let me see your beautiful faces. There they are. Oh, we got a bunch of people who are in the waiting room trying to get in, letting them all in now. Here we go. There are faces. I see some faces I haven't seen in a while. Oh, this is going to be fun. So, this is the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. We got a lot to do today, so let's get right to it. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. This is episode number 65. So excited. You can check us out on Facebook and YouTube. Look up New Eurekan Poets Cafe. That is where we are streaming this open mic live. Also, the recordings are on our Facebook and YouTube. Look up New Eurekan Poets Cafe. If you would like to join us on Zoom, the number is 279-995-364. It's right there on the left-hand side of your screen. We would like to thank the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, the Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for sponsoring our free online events. You too can help support us with a tax-deductible donation if you go to neweurekan.org/contribute or on our Cash App, New Eurekan Poets Cafe. Tonight's theme, LGBTQIA. Oh my God, gotta work on those acronyms, people. Pride Allies, the last Monday of Pride Month. So of course, we had to get it in. Of course, we do not have to wait till June to celebrate it. Like in July, we're gonna be rocking out too. Our poets and community gonna be rocking it out too. But today, we're having a special focus on it. On the right-hand side of the screen, you will see our upcoming themes. Next week is Naked. Flip it how you want. Some of you got a dirty mind. I know it's coming. Some of you are going to, use analogies and whatnot. I'm looking forward to it. After that is Superpower. July 19th, Conspiracy. Ooh, I love that. July 26th is our 69th episode. So, of course, I called it Thirst Trap. I'm sure people like Marissa Prada are very excited about it. So on and on and on. Those are our future themes. If you would like to take a look at that and more, you can find me on social media, on Twitter and Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, at Advocate of Words. When you spell words, that is with a Z, because poetic license. Poets, turn your cameras on. When you perform, we want to see your beautiful faces. We're trying to simulate a real open mic as much as possible. So when you're performing, please turn your camera on. And if your camera's shy, you want to turn it off after you're done, you totally can. Please have your poem ready. We have a lot of people on the open mic list. I want to get to as many as possible. Please have your poem ready. Poets, you have 4 minutes to perform your poems. Some of you have been going overtime. I'm going to have to pull the reins, man. We have to be conscious of the other people who want to rock. We want to make sure we get on as many people as possible. Everyone has been warned. There is no censorship. Beware. There is no censorship at our open mic. Put the kids to sleep. After the poets perform, you're going to see a request by the host for you to unmute yourselves. Those of you who are here with us on Zoom, please unmute yourself. Make some noise for the poets so that we can celebrate them. And stick to the theme, but you don't have to. Every week we have a theme. I really encourage people to stick to the theme, but of course, if your spirit is calling for you to do something that is not on theme, then go ahead and do it. With that being said, shout out to Jason Quinones, by the way, who got it all started. Oh, shout out to Chance, who is driving and checking us out. Shout out to our friend in England who hasn't been here in a while, Mariella Salazar. I see you, Mariella. She says she may be coming in this summer to come hang out with us New York folk. Hopefully it all goes down. And at the end of the month, we are going to have another in-person event. As we get closer to it, I'm going to give more details on it. With that being said, let's get into it, because we were really here for the poetry. Those of you who are joining us on Zoom, because you're going to be performing, I am about to put into the chat. The open mic list is now in the chat, so you can take a look at where you are at. And first is, if you were into fashion, you call her the Beanie God or the God Beanie. If you're into poetry, you call her Deadpan Lizzie. If you're looking for real estate in New York City, you call her Elizabeth Strauss. But we're here for the poetry, Deadpan Lizzie. Deadpan Lizzie, let the people know where they can find you online, and let's hear your poetry.
Evening, everyone. Good to see everyone. Happy Pride. You can find me on Instagram, ES_Strauss, and I'll drop it in the chat when I'm finished spitting. I have new shit. It's called vocabulary words. Some say they do not need to pen who they are in their poetry. They feel it is obvious in the passages and symbols. Sometimes it is, but for those scared and struggling, it may not be. Why lesbian, gay, queer, dyke, sapphists are consistent in my vocabulary. Hearing these words can help guide another to sharing their pride. It can save a life. I repeat, it can save a life. If you are growing tired of my sometimes repetitive messages, remember, my poetry is for me. I'm helping others who need this guidance and safety. I will continue to scream from wherever I am who I am. A leather-wearing, sporty beanie, one-of-a-kind dyke. A word I have grown to love. It is your personal journey. You will share in your own time. There is no rush. I repeat, there is no rush. But for those who need to hear certain vocabulary words string together, I hope this poem helps. It took me 27 years to get here. No rush. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Deadpan Lizzie.
Hello, Deadpan. Way to see it all. Hello.
Lizzie doing her thing.
It's like Yara. I love you.
Yes.
Yes. Go.
Yes.
What a way to kick it off. Elizabeth Strauss, aka Deadpan Lizzie, aka God Beanie. Make sure you check her out. And she's awesome. I've gotten to hang out with her in person as recently as this weekend. And I know she's taking off for the West Coast, so we're not going to see her for a while. But next week, I will be sporting my beanie in honor of Deadpan Lizzie. All right, let's keep it moving. Next coming up is another dude. Oh, by the way, Nathaniel Beck, who is on the waiting list, and he is new. You into Diane Ward's spot, because I see here, I'm letting you know. So now you're on the guaranteed list because Diane Ward has given up her spot because you haven't rocked here before. So when we get to her spot, I will let you know. But just to let you know, Nathaniel, who's new to the community, you in it, two in it, cuz. All right, next coming up is a gentleman who has signed up for every open mic thus far in season 2 of the Monday Night Online Open Mic, and that is Elemental. When you spell Elemental, you take the T out, put the 2 in. Elemental, let people know where they can follow you. Then let's hear that fire, brother.
Advocate, good to see you. Happy Monday. Great, Scott. What a pleasant gesture. Thank you for that, Diane. Elemental.com. My book Calamity is coming. Storm Gods in the building, Storm Force Movement, Voltron Rising, Sound from the Underground, Men Who Heal. Man, it's going down. Plug in, for real. Plug in. All right, so this is called Love Language. The rainbow of emotions we bask in after downpour of disappointment left everything we wished for swept away in a current of crying, lying next to the person you believe is love is everything under the sun. Your one, your love. Past misunderstanding, mystery theater of how did we get to lonely nights within arm's reach, sleeping next to enemies between angry sheets that kiss you goodnight, faithfully. What is your love language? What is theirs? Who do you recognize pulling you from fires of your worst nightmares, holding you tight as new skin, stroking you in that place that sends you to your zen, your calm in the arms of your one? Who senses when you can't keep life from slipping through fingers, when your pain is sharp enough to say goodbye to arteries would rather be dandelion blades that crave the taste of open air and saves you with a hug? With glorious words of affirmations, carnation, instant love affair, condensed into moments of blissful limbo, staring into windows of souls who told you this is where our forever begins. Speaking your name sweeter than the fruits that produced it. Use it in ways to erase waves of agony that sound like goblins gnawing at your happiness. Make eargasms part of your morning liftoff, lip gloss to send off high voltage kisses to fend off stagnant accents of daily grind jumpstart. Every day spent listening to every childhood scar turned gruesome reminder of triumph on battlefield living rooms and bedposts that hold secrets of sleepless nights, praying for guidance to break the silence of miscommunication. The sound of time bouncing back from listening ears sprinkles light on depraved petals desolate on love's floor. Mary J. Blige, not gonna cry no more. Pendulum on slow-mo. You just don't know how much it means to wish upon planes because stars are too far from afternoon grief sessions, reaching breakthroughs, embracing the gift of you. A present and present tense represent joy with every ribbon tied and hair shades of shadow to dance in contrast to the color of you. Unwrap them, prism dimensions, beauty in the eyes of the one holding you. When you can't remember which way is out, equilibrium shifted, acidic trip to antidepressants leave you stumbling in and out of sense and sensibility. Who is your remedy? Hot toddy, heat provided by warm body, no socks to stop blood flow because they know your feet get hot when your mind can't sleep and they sing sweet songs of relief. It's the gift of touch, time it takes to create words to affirm your journey in service of each other. Color is yours to distinguish. Abandon one-dimensional thinking. See love for every color it exists in and learn to speak it fluently.
Beautiful.
Elemental. Oh my God.
Who made you this good? I love you. I love
Love you,
you.
Elemental.
Elemental bringing the heat all the time. You can check out his website, elemental.com. When you spell elemental, take that T out, replace it with the number 2. We love having this dude on here. And I love the hippie. He's got like the kind of hippie, acidic trip type look. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm feeling it. It's all love, man. I'm feeling the very Woodstock vibe from Elemental. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. All right, let's keep moving on. Next coming up. Oh, and by the way, for those of you who are familiar with the Monday Night Online Open Mic, especially the past couple of weeks, sometimes you will see my face, my beautiful face freeze. You'll see me get bounced off. So to make sure in case that if I get bounced off right now, we got the man RMT as co-host. So if for some reason I get bounced off, Ron's gonna jump in, hold it down until I get back every time we get back. And yes, are you down with RMT? Yes, we are. We are very much down with RMT. With that being said, let us keep moving on. We are gonna hear from Ron. He's on the open mic list. Jeff Cottrell is next. Let's unmute Jeff. He's on the other side of the border.
I'm unmuted.
There we go. Go ahead, Jeff. You know the deal. Where can we find you online? Then let's hear your stuff.
All right, find me online at jeffcottrell.com and on Facebook and on Twitter. And yeah, so this piece doesn't have anything to do with the theme, or does it? You decide for yourself. It's called Salesman. Good morning, Mr. Heath. So glad you could make time to see me today. You're one of my favorite customers. How's everything at Heath Widgets Inc.? Good, good. Selling a lot of widgets, bringing in the profits. I'd like to think we've been playing a big role in your success. How's your wife these days? Good, good. She's doing well. And that son of yours, how's he? Oh, he died 2 years ago in a freak road accident. That's terrible. So sorry for your loss. But let's get straight to the point. Kicknuts Industries always has the best interests of you and your business top of mind. I see your Kicknuts contract is due for renewal, so I'd like to take a quick review of your account. I see you've been on the Kicknuts Silver program, which entitles you to receive 2 kicks in the nuts every business day for a full year. The annual price of the Silver program has increased to $799 plus taxes. It's our most popular program, so I'm going to go ahead and confirm your renewal right now. What's that? You don't want to renew the Silver program. You don't think it's justifying the cost. Listen, I get that you want to see monetary results right away, but I've told you the Kicknuts solution doesn't work like that. It's not like buying widgets where you pay the money and you get the widget right in your hand. With Kicknuts Industries, we help you build brand awareness in your market, which leads to higher revenue and increased profit. That's not a quick fix. It's a process that takes time. But I'll tell you what, have you thought about upgrading to our Gold program? The Gold program entitles you to receive 4 kicks in the nuts every business day for a full year. And as it happens, we've got a special on right now for the Gold program. You can have it for only $1,599 plus taxes. It's a steal, Mr. Heath, so I'm going to go ahead and confirm your upgrade right now. What's that? You don't want to upgrade to the Gold program. You're a little skeptical that it's right for you. Listen, I know how scary it is to make a change, but that's a part of life, Mr. Heath. You've got to take risks. If you don't take risks, nothing ever evolves and your company stagnates. We're just trying to help you grow your business and fulfill your market potential with our unique talents and expertise. But I'll tell you what. As it happens, the Gold program is now available with a special offer. On top of the standard 4 kicks in the nuts every business day, we can give you 2 nipple yankings for an extra $500. Again, that's 4 kicks in the nuts and 2 nipple yankings every business day for a full year at the low price of $2,099 plus taxes. It's a rare opportunity, Mr. Heath, so I'm going to go ahead and confirm your upgrade right now. What's that? You don't want to upgrade to the Gold program with extra benefits. Well, I don't know what to tell you, Mr. Heath. I'm giving you the best of the best that Kicknuts Industries has to offer. I'm giving you the kind of value added that Fortune 500 companies would kill for. But I'll tell you what, I'm not really supposed to do this, but you're one of my favorite customers, and I sure want to keep this relationship going for at least another year. What I can do is arrange things down at the office so that you get our services exclusively from our finest nut kicker, Sal. I'm telling you, Sal's been in the nut kicking business for more than 30 years, and he trained with master nut kickers in Europe and Asia. I put my complete faith in Sal. On top of that, I can offer you free courtside seats to that big basketball playoff game happening next Saturday. Ah, you like sports. I should have known. Lots of people like sports. Well, maybe there's more sports where that came from, Mr. Heath. So I'm going to go ahead and confirm your upgrade right now. 4 kicks in the nuts and 2 nipple yankings every business day for a full year, all for my guy Sal, and lots of sports tickets too, all for the unbeatable price of $3,099 plus taxes. Just sign the contract here. Beautiful. I look forward to our continued working relationship, Mr. Heath. My best wishes for your wife and your son. Good luck. That was called Salesman.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was great. I love it, Jeff. That was great.
Jeff Cottrell, you can check him out at jeffcottrell.com. He is our in-house salesman. When if we ever go belly up because of the pandemic, we're gonna ship Jeff in from Canada, and he's gonna sell off all our stuff. jeffcottrell.com. Make sure you check him out. Cottrell has 2 T's and 2 L's in it. All right, let's keep going on. Rich Daddy Glennon is next. Also, shout out to Marissa Prada. I know that Marissa is on our waiting list. I don't know if we'll get to her. I heard about what happened to your friends, and I see the hot air balloon in the back. So sending you my love and support, Marissa. So sorry to hear about that. So had to make sure. I don't know if we're gonna get to her, like I said, because she's on the waiting list, but she's one of ours. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta shout it out, let her know she's recognized. Rich Daddy Glennon is here. I love in the red shirt, looking all daddy sexy. Go ahead, Rich. Where can we find you online? Let's see your poetry, brother.
Yeah, I don't know about that, man. There's no angle that doesn't make my face look fat nowadays with this fatherhood flab I've been putting on, these pandemic pounds, but appreciate it nonetheless. Rich Glidden on Instagram, Tumblr. I'll put it in the chat afterwards, but I'll jump into it because I know we have a lot of poets here. Okay, the first poem is called After Literally 10 Minutes of Nonstop Scratching. The cat walks in proudly, as if there were no witnesses, as if he were the one who opened the door and not me, and stops briefly to inspect its edge, like one who looks back at the bundle of nothing they have tripped over. The second poem is called Practice. Okay, practice. Oftentimes, my gym routine disturbs my meditation. Which exercises will I do, and which have caused the wrong kind of pain? Or sometimes I'll recall what I ate the day before, plan what I will eat today, weigh diet and weakness on a produce scale. There are personal squabbles too, weekend plans, to-dos, and women trying to cool off in tank tops, clammy cleavage and thighs piled atop their stoops, and how my car, as if reading my mind, almost took another from behind. All this, instead of my sinking into the black pool behind my eyelids, watching my breath arrive and depart without effort on my part. It's hard to stay in the moment. I fail frequently, but thankfully, there's always another breath to practice on behind the one I left. And the last one is called Belly Button. A human with one leg labors down the avenue past a balding man who smears his hair with a comb, while I jot down the bones of this poem, and my porous brain drops the things I have to do. We're all doing the best with what we have, finessing wet puzzle pieces, stretching morsels, stacking trifles, coating over our mortal gaps with what's around. Still, we fall short of perfection. Our belly buttons, tiny mouths, chew through the plaster and remind us while we're down that we will never be seamless, a monolith, a faultless slab, which is why we rise time after time, holy, divine. Thank you.
Yes.
Unmute yourself. Give it up.
Oh,
Nice to
Rick,
you, Rich.
let's
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh,
So glad to see you back.
Rich Daddy Glennon. We knew him before he had to grow up. So we always love having him back. It's like, yes, you figured out how to put the baby to sleep and come hang out with us. You're getting this daddy thing right. Rich Glitter, make sure that you give him a follow. Next coming up is Mary Blenderman. Mary, I don't know if this weekend maybe your ears were twitching, but if they were, it's because we were saying a lot of nice things about you at dinner after a show we did on Saturday. So I'm happy to see you here. And someone had asked me how to reach you about a feature, and I told them. And before you start your poem, please tell everyone how they can reach you if they want you to feature for them, or just to check out your stuff.
Wow, you all are so nice. I want to come hang out with you. Yes? Yay. Okay, you can find me at maryblenderman.com. When you spell Blenderman, it's with 2 N's at the end. I'll put it in the chat at some point. Happy Pride, yay! This is new shit that I wrote for this week. Before I read, please join me in taking a deep breath in and out. This is called Portrait of the Author in a State of Continuous Rebirth, or Ode to Cutting My Own Hair. Every 2 weeks, I become a hermit crab, crawl from the shell of my clothes and go foraging for a body that feels more like mine. A house of mirrors, my soft skin, desert and horizon at once. The clippers a mouth with plastic teeth, chewing unruly newness. The clippers a combine harvester, thatching my shoulders with chaff. The clippers a sculptor's chisel, carving harder edges, sharpening the back of my neck into the point at the bottom of a heart. Like the girl I've always been afraid to write about. Ever since she made me realize my hair was an anchor sunk in an ocean of expectations from which I became desperate to unmoor. No brush and comb, no fistfuls of conditioner, no aching arms raking out snarls, no modesty, no glory. Now I cut my hair until there is nothing about me in need of untangling. I look the way I look because of the way I am. The clippers, the business of banishing doubts, my head a flag I wave proudly everywhere. A benediction for those who hate me. May your hatred be a gag reflex. No pretended acceptance, no shocked curiosity, no velvet maybe. Love this or choke, but choose. Every 2 weeks, I become uncrumpled wings, emerge from the shower's chrysalis glistening. The clippers a crystal ball. I look in the mirror, see the person I used to hope I'd be one day, and it's a clairvoyant joy. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
Damn.
Oh, say Mary!
That's amazing, Mary.
Come on!
Yeah, Mary.
Go!
You ain't have to do us like that, Mary.
God.
Why you gotta make me
Fair
cry,
time.
Mary? Why you gotta
That
make me
was
cry?
fucking awesome.
Mary Blenderman, when you spell Blenderman, M-A-N-N, there is 2 N's at the end of that, maryblenderman.com. Go check out the website. She even shouts out the Monday Night Online Open Mic, right? Like you got ways to reach her, but then she says, yeah, if you want to find me, I'm on the Monday Night Online Open Mic. I saw it on the website. I was like, yes. Always promote that website now. But she does, right? maryblenderman.com. She is awesome. She's awesome. She has been in many of our highlights as well. Speaking of highlights, I've got work to do. I know I'm backed up on that stuff. All right. Some people came in late. Some people are checking out late. So real quick, one more time, let's remind you, this is the Monday night online open mic presented by the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. If you would like to join us on Zoom, the number's on the left-hand side of the screen, 279-995-364. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Look up New Eurekan Poets Cafe on Facebook and YouTube. You can also see all the recordings of our past open mics, including this one, on our Facebook and YouTube. And of course, every week I am the host advocate of words. When you spell words, that's with a Z, you know, Bronx, what? So if you would like to sign up for future events, the sign up list opens 24 hours before the show on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. 1 a.m. British summertime, because UK is in the building. To sign up, visit neweurekan.org and click the full events calendar. There you would click on the Monday that you're signing up for. So next week is, I think it's the 3rd, I don't know, but you will see next week, Monday, you would click on that date, and then you would order an artist RSVP ticket. The only way to get on the open mic list is to order an artist RSVP ticket. They go within minutes, so make sure you're on the website at 8 p.m. sharp. And I would just like to remind you that, oh yeah, it's coming. The 1-year anniversary of the Art of Seduction, the erotic open mic that I host along with Chance and Monica. This is actually Monica S. Martinez's baby. I get to come along for the ride. Our next one is on July 10th on Saturday. You can go to my Instagram or Twitter, Facebook, whatever it is where you follow me, and you'll see the information on how to sign up for it. So I hope to see you all there. You never know what you're going to see. And those of you who've been there know what I'm talking about. You never know what you're going to see or hear. All right, let's keep it moving. We're now going to the Bay Area, and we are going to hear from Joshua Kernia, who caught the addiction, I think, in February, right, Joshua?
I think January? It is, or January, maybe. It's been a while.
Yep. I know it's been this year. I know 2021's been good to us. Go ahead, brother. Let the people know where they can follow you online, and then let's hear it.
You can find me online on Joshua at IG at Joshua_Kernia. And first of all, happy Pride to everyone. This is an important month for me because I came out last year. So this is my first official Pride Month being out. I wrote a new piece. I started writing it 2 weeks ago for the specific open mic. And then for the first time, I'm also going to read the poem in person at a church on Wednesday. So it will be something. And I'm sure there'll be a recording. So I'll share it with you guys later. So this poem is called I Hear a Symphony. In times past, I found myself lost in the woods, unbeknownst to myself and impervious to man, humming amongst the giants of the misty forest, overcast by haze of existence, gripped by monsters of my own fantasy, drenched by drops of dew from the venomous green lubricious moss. My knees are too frail to stand up, and my heart is too squinched to open up. But far away from where I'm kneeling, with my slow pulsing vein and dripping sweat of defeat, I hear a subtle hint of a symphony. It whispers to me gently as it seeps through the wind, weaving against the mist, intertwined with my secret curiosity. The tune awakens the silence as it starts to tickle and rattle my senses, desire, jealousy, lust. The harmony feels just about right from this distance, safely contained, camouflaged, and obscured. I brace myself and I steadily rise. I tilt my head higher yet lower than others. I gaze onward, yet alert to the 100 eyes peering behind me. One might question, why is it so difficult to walk? but one doesn't realize that poison ivies bloom in closeted secrecy. This never-ending quest to find self requires gallantry and basics of humility to truly be proud, not just a speech or a grand gesture or a show-off. Because waving a flag is simply not enough. It requires an infinite heart surgery to reassemble the unfit jigsaw puzzle back together and carve new pieces to replace the bogus ones. I open my palms, I cross my fingers, I flip my scarf for love and acceptance. For tense, I've searched down alleys of the untraveled and the forbidden forest of mischiefs and misconceptions. But I think the age of revelation is near. It should be right in front of me. Once I'm brave enough to shed my mask and blindfold, once I surrender to the warmth of the notes to carry me, to steer as it caresses my ears, to be where I belong, to where I should run. The gentle melody sounds mellow, yet epically composed. It vibrates every nooks and crannies of my inelastic fuselage. Every strand of my hair stands up in excitement, turbulence, and reverence. What a beautiful life, or perhaps menacing and disfigured in its flawed beauty. It's dusk. I can barely see any twigs nor vines, but keep walking, I hear. So I listen and do. One valiant step at a time, one cautious stride on every fork I find, to hope of dawn, to a destiny still unknown, to an ode of pride, to the symphony I hear, to which one day I will find. Happy Pride. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Joshua.
Oh, beautiful.
So beautiful.
So beautiful.
Gorgeous.
So beautiful.
Play it at that
First
church.
pride, Joshua.
Congratulations, Joshua.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Happy first
Thank you.
Pride. Happy first
Yeah. Nice, Joshua. Thank you.
Joshua Curtier, make sure you go give him a follow. Also check out his podcast, A Line by Line, ALIGN by BYLINE. A Line by Line. Make sure you go check him out. He's blooming before us, folks. He's blooming before us. I love it. I love it. Out in the Bay Area, man. I like the Bay Area out in Cali. Shout out to all our peoples in San Francisco and Oakland, man. Got a lot of love for y'all. Okay. Michael Sindler is supposed to be next, but he wasn't unable to be here, and he was going to give his spot to Umesh, but Umesh isn't here. So we're going to keep moving it along, and we are going to get to Finn Bell. Let me unmute Finn Bell. I know it's so weird to call her Finn Bell. All this time she could have corrected me, but she let me rock.
It's only weird for you, advocate.
Because I've been calling you by your government for so long now. You know what I mean? So okay. Let the people know where they can find you. She's such an awesome poet for all those of you who don't know. Let us know where we can find you, and then let's hear your beautiful stuff.
On Instagram, Finn_Bell, PHYNNE_BELLE. Happy Pride, folks. So this is called Ink. I awakened to this morning. I am jolted upright. I forget only for a while, only a little where I am. I become a little dismayed when I recall my location. As it dawns, it impresses more insistently. Not buttered, adoring rays of sunlight caressing my cheek, not a lover's playful stirring. It is cold. It coagulates, clumps, and slings its contents upon the window pane. The window is opaque, silt, and canine lick salt. It doesn't provide any additional answers. It is full of its own secrets. I meddle at its latch. To throw it open, the first outside air rushes in, filling my lungs, calms me for a moment before it circulates through the room and gives up on hope and memory too, becoming stale, becoming forgotten. I have black hair. It never winds around the way I need it to when I want it to reach out with its gently curving ends and touch people across scarred tabletops and through overly bright laptop screens, getting a sense of them. I want each strand of my hair to plug into each of their minds and creep, a replicating vine into their souls, as if behind their ears and nestled in a concave of their chest was a hidden outlet for me to nestle myself into if I felt around patiently for it. I want us to connect and understand each other before the need for words to complicate and chase and subdues me, before bias, confused as rationale, floods my pathway and congests. My hair scoffs at the idea of being circuitry and power cords. Hair is hair, sitting atop one's head. It doesn't have the power to convey what I'm so weary of repeating. My hair is growing long, and today it deceives because it is pretty. I don't want to be other people's pretty. I don't want what other people's pretty thinks should accompany that lie. I stop fixating on my unruly hair. I reach for my coffee cup and I stare hard at the poorly rendered jasmine tattoo on my right wrist, diversion tactic as the caffeine kicks in. I think of the man boy, skyscraper tall and cocksure eyes, the exact color of newborn guava leaves, telling me how he was infatuated with me because I was so pure. You would never be the kind of girl to mar her skin with ink, is what he said. What kind of girl is that? I teasingly replied, still being the kind that wanted to please him and his ilk, to bend Asian willowy reed and mighty oak fantasy, even as his unspoken yellow fetish was discomfort pushing down on my abdomen, bile rising from my gut. He tapped the tip of my nose as if trying to reset all of my controls. Adorable. The type of girl who drinks and swears, smokes a pack a day, beds a different guy or, God forbid, another girl to mark a fortnight. I nodded slightly, motor function response, still uncomprehending. My brain could not summon up the correct face and response to match his repulsion. I fished in my jacket, pocket for my obsidian, seeking comfort, protection, and familiarity. My fingers brush my heavy silver lighter and my Marlboros as I withdraw my hand and fidget with the collar of my dress. He, man, feeling silence is complacency, and girls in dresses are translucent, smiled, feeling magnanimous in this universe he knew. He filled the silence with last wise words. Just remember, kid, good girls don't do those kind of things. Good girls don't get tattoos.
Wow.
You get so
For time. I'm traveling ether.
Wow.
Oh my God, that was amazing. Oh my God.
Wow.
Later, Sonny.
Oh, that was
Later.
so...
Finn Bell. Make sure you give her a follow. PHYNNE_BELLE. She does her own open mic, which she did with Nick Paleologos. I got to hang out with them last week. I had such a good time. Make sure you go check her out. She's got her own podcast. Oh my God. So many awesome things. So many awesome things. So make sure you go and check her out, because I know, like, we having a good night so far, and you're like, what's the next Monday night online open mic? Well, it's next Monday. Well, what am I supposed to do in between then? Well, we got people here in our community who are doing their own thing. They're hosting their own kind of open mics and workshops and podcasts. So make sure that you reach out for that to them and check all that out. Finn Bell is one of them. And then next Monday, I see you back here, though. All right. None of y'all think y'all could go get a life on Mondays. It ain't cute to have a life on Mondays. Your life is with me on the internet. Next coming up is Mr. Tessa Somok. Is he a farmer? Is he a poet? Is he an uncle to an incredibly talented niece? Or you know, or is he a gangster? We never know what we're gonna get from, or they're gonna be a professor. Mr. Tessa Somok, where can we find you online? And then let's hear what you got for us.
Oh, there we go. Can you hear me?
Yep. Now we can hear you.
You can find me on Instagram under Gashes 2019. And yes, the anxiety of where I'm going to take you. The failure of the confessional poem. The late 20th century presented the most current philosophical attempts to understand both the self, society, our place in it, and so on, have been what I will call deflationary rhetoric. In its decline, Rome was metastasized by Christian governmentality, made easy by the efficiency of the Roman Empire. By 313 AD, the Emperor Constantine issued the Edict of Milan, which accepted Christianity. 10 years later, it had become the official religion of the Roman Empire. At the end of 476, Rome collapsed from its political tumors. In 1453, Constantinople finally fell to the Ottoman Empire with a difference of 977 years. The cancer of pastoral power continued through the Roman Church and its dormancy of the Dark Ages and the Norman Visigothic shuffles. The upside of the Renaissance and the Westphalian sovereignty peace of 1648 reflected an accommodation to reality, not a moral, ethical, or aesthetic insight. Relied on a system of independent states refraining from interference in each other's domestic affairs and checking each other's ambitions through a general equilibrium of power. No single claim to truth or universal rule had prevailed in Europe. As progeny of Western exceptionalism, we revel in the anti-intellectualism of our culture, in our fear of the learned, separating the work of the intellectual and the work of ordinary people. At the end of the 60s, LSD tabs and the remnant weed roaches, we abandoned the revolutionary structures and turned to the individual. There were no easy privileged roads to grand narratives for utopias and radical alternatives beyond the hard work of political advancement delivered through parties, trade unions, bureaucracy, and politics. The statist fascists argue we had now to look inwards. Change would be reframed as a struggle against oneself, against our inner enemy. One had to confront the inner fascist. In the 80s, the critical race truth emerged from a group of legal scholars trying to answer a very simple question. Why, after the Civil Rights Act of 1964 created formal legal equality between racial groups, racial inequality persisted? We are the largest jailers in the world. Black Americans are incarcerated at greater rates than whites. As of 2018, Blacks represented 12% of population and 33% prison population. Conversely, whites represented 63% general population, only 30% prison population. As individuals, we became the root cause of the structural ills that today we offer under critical race truth, as imperialism, racism, white supremacism, exceptionalism, Menonism, all under the force of law. The mechanics lack intentionality. Structural racist laws do not have racial subordination as their purpose or design. They rely on Marcusean banality. The practices that sustain racial inequality are not spectacular. They are daily, prosaic, mundane, ordinary. Finally, race neutrality laws and procedures reproduce racial hierarchies without mentioning race at all. The confessional poem, circa 1950s, has been described as poetry of the personal or the I, focusing on extreme individual experience, the psyche, personal trauma, taboo matters, mental illness, sexuality, and suicide. The adherents of the confessional poem, Lowell, Plath, Berryman, Sexton, and Ginsberg et al. These confessional poets worked in opposition to the idealization of domesticity, revealing unhappiness in society. At the core of confessional politics and confessional poetry is the psychological deflationary effect to threshold the collective or individual ego as performed in the booth or the ballot box. The confessional fails when it is performed in the street, in art galleries and workplaces, on behalf of corporations and on social media. Recall the June 9, 2020 viral photo of senior Democrats, leaders, Pelosi, Chuck Schumer and Elian on the floor with Gania and Conte silk stoles after the police murder of George Floyd and the subsequent passing of the Justice and Policing Bill. The Tertullian Publictio Sui, of which Church Father Tertullian called it, publishing themselves, which did not change the law, something they had the power to do. The politics of self-care produces a confessional culture in which the battles and the struggles playing out within have to be discussed, confessed, and shared with those outside. The individual confessional fails the therapeutic sensibility of thresholding. Instead, they reinforce the overblown ego, which continues consciously raising self-examination, turning into endlessly representing lack of intentionality, banality, and race-neutral structural social questions as personal ones. Busying ourselves with loud penitent rituals, announcing our inner battles and performative humiliations will not deliver the promise of cleansing purity.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Tessa.
Oh,
Yes.
Damn.
Thank you for sharing.
Amazing.
profound as always, brother. Profound as always.
Mr. Tessa Somok, and welcome to his TED Talk. Make sure you give him a follow at Gashes 2019. And he's a farmer, so don't mess with him too, man. I got a lot of respect for farmers. I've worked with them, so I got a lot of respect for them. All right, next, coming up is another man who I have a lot of respect for, and you better have respect for, because right now he got some power here in the Zoom. I didn't even have to unmute him. He unmuted himself because he is the emergency co-host. Love having him here. I trust him greatly. Ron, Mark, Thompson. Ron, let the people know where they can find you, Bronx Fun Hub, all that stuff. No, let's hear your poetry, brother.
Thank you so much for your support. I'll be more than happy to be your emergency support here, but please don't disappear on me, And, it was great seeing you and Labrour and our other poetry friends in person in the Bronx last Saturday. If you want to see Labrour, she's going to do more Saturdays in the Bronx. Support her. You can find me at Ron Mark Thompson. I'll put that in the chat. And my Bronx Art and Fun Hub at BXAFH, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Diane and I, we host different types of workshops, performing sessions, creative writing sessions, all three. I'll put that all in the chat. All right, I have 2 short poems, each 2 minutes, each to the theme. The second one is more about me. The first one is a little bit more general. So here we go. The first one is, you may know the song, You've Got a Friend in Me by Randy Newman from the movie Toy Story. I changed the word to You've Got an Ally in Me, and I added my own lines. You've got an ally in me. I want you to be nothing but free. I love your rainbow, your many colors, our diversity. Please know that you always have an ally in me. I want you to be safe, secure, and proud. I don't want anyone to cover your sun with a cloud. You're such a bright light. You're so unique. You make me feel stronger and less weak. I'm your ally. You can confide in me, even if I don't always agree. It doesn't matter if you wear a bra or sport a goatee. I will protect you. You can always count on me. And please don't listen to what the bullies say. They're just insecure and cover their religion and pray. If God created us, if that's our foundations, perfections, flaws, shapes, genders, orientations, then we are all of his or her or their creations. If you need help, if you want others to understand, I will guide you to reach out. I will lend my hand. You have a right, like everyone else, to be on this land. I will allow no one to lose or to be banned. You've got an ally in me. I will be your protection, your tree. I will help you unlock yourself to be free. I will find for us the key. You've got an ally in me. I want you to be very free. Speak your truth, say it loud. Let me be your ally and be very proud. End of first poem. Thank you. Second one is titled My Own Colors. Why don't I speak more of who I am? Who is me? Don't I feel secure? Don't I feel free? What are my true colors, you may ask? Do I still hide my identity behind the mask? You see, I had to find my own colors. Took me a long time. In my teenage years, I was in another country where some considered me a crime. In my 20s, on this side of the ocean, I tried to find my way. I've gone through self-realization, self-questioning, after a lot of dismay. Then in my 30s, I learned many new words and phrases and labels that caused me to try different ways on different tables. But now in my 40s, I wonder if it still matters. Is there a chance? Am I straight, gay, bi, pan, non, or God forbid, how do I dance? I love the rainbow. I like what it shows. It looks beautiful. It's unique, just like a rose. I am neither proud nor am I sad. What I am is neither good nor bad. I just have come to the conclusion that I am what I am. It's up to me to find the right partner, woman or man. If you ask me what my colors are, if you're sincere, I may give you my truth, I may bar. But remember, saying and showing are two different things. We can be honest or we can spread our wings. If you show me your true colors, then I will show you mine. Together we can respect, love, and we will always shine. As always, I thank you for the opportunity tonight. I hope my words make you shine your own light very bright. The end.
Yes!
Beautiful.
That was RMT, yeah. You know that was RMT, yeah.
Make me feel all the things. Well done, Ron.
You're the best.
Ron Mark Thompson. Make sure you go give that dude a follow. Bronx Fun Hub. He does his own thing, workshops, open mics. Make sure you check it out. And he also does work with Diane Ward. And Diane Ward is who is supposed to be next, but great Scott, we have a pleasant gesture. She gave up her spot for someone who has not been on the Monday Night Online open mic before, at least not shared a poem, if I am not mistaken, and that is with Nathaniel Beck. Let me check with Nathaniel.
Hi.
Hi, Nathaniel. You've never been on the Monday Night Online open mic, have you?
No, I have not.
Awesome. Where are you located?
I am currently in Green Bay, Wisconsin, so a little bit of a ways away from New York.
Oh no, you can't be from Green Bay. Nathaniel, you can't. I'm a Chicago Bears fan. You can't be from Green Bay.
It's okay. My better half is a Chicago Bears fan too, from the West Side. So
yeah. Oh, that's music to my ears. Nathaniel, we're welcoming you back. We're giving you the welcome back. Stay, Nathaniel. You're welcome to stay. Awesome. All right, Nathaniel. Welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic. As you saw before, our poets let everyone know where they can find them on social media, and then they'll share their poetry. But of course, to you and everyone, if you don't have social media or you don't want to share it, you don't have to. Nonetheless, we want to hear some good poems. So Nathaniel, the floor is yours.
awesome. You can find me at NCBEK Poetry. At pretty much everywhere, or ncbeckpoetry.com. If it's all right, I'm going to do two poems. This one is for Dan. My uncle was made from the soiled stones of granite statues, chiseled from the remains of heroes. Fist fighter some days, he wore armor in his skin. A mountain of a man with whale lungs inside his chest. I never knew a better swimmer. He held his breath once so long he forgot he needed to breathe. He joined the Navy when the waters he swam were no longer deep enough. An athlete of many sports that rivaled the legends he played, I only ever saw him lose once. to a game of pickup with Magic Johnson. My uncle was never much of a basketball player, only good because of his size. He was more of a runner. I saw him run the world's longest endurance race in record time. He moved like the Flash, so fast it was hard for me to see when he was gone. It's even harder to say the race was really his life. That endurance was the battle with HIV, that AIDS killed him in record time, that he would have won the game if he picked up the right pills, but science needs a control group, even when it's your family. Watch him swallow the pills with silence. Watch him find the silence again in bottles. Know he left them in the closet. When you see him drowning in alcohol, tell yourself he has whale lungs inside his chest, that he was in the Navy. When he is getting abused by his partner, tell yourself he was in the Navy, that he was the best fist fighter you ever knew. When the bones stretch his skin, say it is just armor, that zombies are only in the movies. Tell yourself he is more than the Walking Dead. When his irises shatter, he doesn't need to see. He was made of stone statues. When he gets hairy leukoplakia, remind yourself that statues don't need to eat. Some truths are harder to swallow anyways. When he says goodbye, know that he means it. When he dies, see the statue. Run your hands against the granite. Feel the mountain it was made from. Remember the man that pulled it from the earth. Know what it took for him to place it there. When others speak for him, when they turn his body more politics than uncle, when they skin him down to sickness, when they put him up for display, remember him and not the disease. Replace the hurt with stories of heroism. Speak of him only as a hero. Remember his name. Remember his name. Thank you. This goes out to all of my friends and family and everyone down in Orlando, where I just moved away from. So in Wisconsin, it is told as tradition. Tales of boys turn men, rites of passage unsettling the trees. There are stories written in the snow here that will last well after it is melted. We are all the silent roosters of wilderness, cracking the morning sun like an egg, perched on the edge of hunting, the shadowless stalkers of nature. I don't think you ever forget the first time you reached the summit of an ecosystem, preying on the forest like you are your own natural disaster. I remember the first time I held a gun, like excitement had a weight to it, like power had a weight to it, like fear had a weight to it. I know the hesitation that rests at the edge of a trigger. There is a bull behind this fence. There is no room for fear. No toddler toys and blankets, just the deer and the silence. Things are much easier to process when at a distance. You are the one in power, but there is no poetic way to say you killed something. There is no beauty in death, but maybe I just can't describe the way eyes look when there isn't life in them. Maybe I just need to man up, get over it. It was just a deer. Guns are meant to kill things anyways, right? Just ask the assault rifles, the high-capacity mags. Maybe this is the rite of passage we asked for. But we aren't talking about hunting anymore, are we? There is no venison here. When we've turned streetlights to trees, nightclubs to forests, classrooms to open fields, there is no poetic way to say Parkland happened, Las Vegas happened, Pulse happened. There is no poetic way to say weapons of war are legal, that we keep searching for manhood behind a gun, that killing is okay if the police do it. But they say it wasn't the gun. Say it was the security guard, the teacher, the pill bottles, society. They say hunting helps control the population of animals. But they never talk about what we should do when we become the deer. Thank you.
Wow.
Holy
God.
That
been confiscated. No, this is where you are. You're one of us.
Wow.
Plans Mondays and Thursday now.
Yes.
So much.
Nathaniel Beck, you may have heard people chanting one of us. That means they want you to come back. You have to give up your Monday nights. That's it. Nothing's going on Monday nights anyway. So you're going to need to come back next week again and again and again. I loved your poetry. I forgive you being in Green Bay, especially since I think you said your significant other is a Chicago Bears fan. Bear down, baby. And oh my God, what a great poem. What great poetry. Both of them were great. Nathaniel Beck, welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic, sir. Please make yourself comfortable and come back every week. Also, put your information again into the chat. Everyone who performs, make sure you take the time to go into the chat. Look at what the nice people are saying about you, and also put your information so that people can follow you. Awesome. And once again, thank you to Diane Ward, who gave up her spot tonight so we could get to, like, let's get someone on that we haven't heard before, and it was a winner. It was a winner, Diane. Diane, you know, but then that's Diane, right? We know about Diane. Ooh, we know about Diane. I love me some Diane. All right, let's keep it moving. We now go into my wingman, DG Clearing, who for some reason was not first. How he wasn't first, I don't know. Whitney Salgado is here. Shout out to Whitney Salgado. She's also out in Wisconsin. Wait, I don't know if she's a Green Bay fan now. There's DJ Clearing. We're gonna, you know what? I love Whitney Salgado. I'm not gonna ask her if she's a Packers fan because I don't want to ruin the love I have for her. Okay, DG, the floor is yours. You know what to do.
Thanks.
Brother.
Nice to see you. Have a good Nathaniel. I'm 15 miles from you. I'll send you all my information. So I live just outside of Green Bay. So we'll get together. I'm on theme tonight. Happy Pride, everybody. This is for my friend Don, who died many years ago and told me not to forget this. Hid in plain sight. Do you remember when there wasn't a coming out, only to be safe and don't get hurt or killed? We met in secret places, in bars that were in neighborhoods that were too dangerous to walk in during the day. And at night, they were where you would go to come and play. We hid ourselves in plain sight, had girlfriends and married, had 3.2 children and a dog, golfed with our bosses, talked about the boobs on the secretaries out front, brought trophy wives to the country clubs, and worked late so we could go out with the boys. The cops beat us and then threw us in jail or blackmailed us, taking our money by threatening an outing. Strangers pulled us into alleys, bashing our heads with baseball bats, calling us fags, unholy, repugnant, and leaving us to die. Employers said we were unfit and fired us for being human. Courts said we had no rights and stole our dignity and humanity. Religions cast us out as abominations, saying we were evil, barbarians, and heathens, then throwing us into the lion's den or to a pack of hyenas so they could hear them laugh as they ripped the flesh from our bones. All this as they themselves laid with their brothers behind the walls of their sacrilege with young boys who had no choice, whose only crime was their innocence. When you're in the parade or walking down the street hand in hand, when you're sitting on the couch with your partner in the suburbs, when you say the vows of marriage in a church, when you kiss each other on the street, when everyone knows and doesn't care if you date a man or a woman. It wasn't that long ago and happens still today, when you were tortured or killed for being who you are. Celebrate the pride of your being every day. And remember. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves. Give some love to G.
Oh my God, DG. Yes.
Beautiful tribute.
Thank you so much.
That was so beautiful, DG.
Very beautiful.
Incredible
piece. Oh my blessings. Thank you.
That's what.
G Clearing. Make sure you look him up on Facebook. He was recently in the newspaper. Last I checked, there was like over 1 million views on it. That was a couple months ago. Make sure you go check him out. Community's doing big things. I appreciate y'all opening up your hearts. You know, there's this poet named Joanna Hoffman. God, I love her poetry. I used to work with her. I haven't done any work with her in a while, but I love her poetry. And she had this line in her poem, and I'm totally going to paraphrase it, talking about how someone had asked, well, why don't they have a straight parade? And he's talking about because like you haven't had to fight for it. You know, like they have a pride parade, they have a pride month because like that it's something that they've had to fight for, you know, and every time, and I just remember her saying that, and like that stuck with me. I was like, I get it. Now, mind you, I wasn't the one who asked her, yo, why can't there be a straight parade? Just so y'all know, I wasn't me who asked it. But when she put that in her poem, it was dope, gave some more insight, and I thought about that when I was listening to G Clearing. Okay, next coming up is Gigi. Gigi. I wish you were around. We should have done up my hair. You should have done the rainbow. I would have looked like Tekashi 6ix9ine, but I would have been representing for you for Pride Month, nonetheless.
I'm only 4 hours away. If anyone in New York ever wants to hang out, I just need a day's notice. I'm just saying. That's it.
Got you. And I'm gonna let you know towards the end of the month, we are doing something in person because I know you asked about it. So hopefully we will get to see Gigi as well. Nonetheless, Gigi, let the people know where they can find you. And then let's hear that fire.
All right, so you can find me on Instagram at iron_resilience. And then I have a website called arcadian-poetry.com. All right, I have 2 poems tonight. The first one is Just As It's Always Been. And then the second one is titled My Pride Sermon. Just as it's always been. When did you know you were queer was never the real question here. Rifling through memories, trying to pick the starting point. It's just as it's always been. The real question was, when did you realize you were different? Your love, not the standard. My Barbie dolls married one another. When I played house, I could be mom or dad, and I didn't understand why I couldn't be friends with only boys. Why didn't I see anyone around me that looked like my Barbie dolls? It's just as it's always been. My most pivotal moment, I remember so clear. I met my vice principal outside of Catholic school. I saw her with her partner in a dollar store, and I never felt happier. Or maybe it was the one couple in church, the 2 women who sat in the 3rd row in the last pew, one's head on the other's shoulder during gospel, but my faith was seeing them. Me seeing them was just how it always should be. The answer to the question you never asked was, when did I realize my queerness was not standard? And it was in 7th grade in homeroom after rumors spread through my school of my vice principal. My teachers made us write papers for religion class about sins and why they were wrong. Homosexuality was a topic I couldn't put my finger on. I couldn't write my paper. My heart skipped a beat. I fiddled through the sins to choose. This was the start of my repression. It was the reason I told my online girlfriend I couldn't talk to her anymore. The question isn't, when did you realize you were queer? It's just as it's always been. It's, when did your heart sink to the floor? And when did you meet someone who helped you pick it up again? Because you were never broken. You've been perfect all along, just as it's always been. And then this second one is called My Pride Sermon. I don't talk a lot about my religion, but I'm actually a deacon at a Protestant church, and I left the Catholic Church a while ago. My Pride Sermon. At 18, the Catholic Church and I came to an impasse, requesting me to unconditionally love them while they conditionally loved me only if I fit their narrative. Hell, a weapon, the rules of the Bible written by men who had never bared witness to God. I am no longer listening to a church who says my God hates me for who I love when they think that a man born in the Middle East would have been white. My God is a brown man who preaches of love. I am no longer listening to straight men in churches with an agenda for my body. The Catholic Church now owes me and us reconciliation. My body is a temple covered in tattoos and glitter. The only practitioners I let in are women. Let my highlight be an acolyte that guides you the way. A new prayer for pride, our saint, a sex worker named Miss Johnson. Hail Martha, full of strength, a sermon at Stonewall, communion, a brick to the policeman's face. If God made us in his image, our queerness is not made of mistakes, it is made of stardust. Pride is not a month. It is a reminder we are here. We have always been here across cultures and religion. My religion too long has been used as a weapon, and I am taking it back with my own queer hands. Hail Martha, full of strength. I'd like to thank you for one day being the reason I can walk down an aisle and see a bride standing in white and know she's mine. Thank you.
Mute yourself. Give some
Wow.
love to Gigi.
Gigi.
Yeah.
Wow. Yo.
What's so much more?
Love you all.
Let's go. Gigi went in. Go check her out. Iron_resilience. Go check her out. Oh, that's fantastic. Then get your hair done. Then you go get your hair done by her. You get a poem like that, and then you get your hair done. Okay. Our community will take care of you. You need real estate, we'll take care of that. You need some legal, Mary J, we'll take care of that. You need some illegal, Mary J, we'll take care of that. You need your haircut, we'll take care of that. Every Monday night we're here. Check us out. All right. We are going to now leave the Monday night online open mic for a second, and we are going to enter what we affectionately call the skiff verse. And we are going to Paul Skiff, the OG here at the New York Poets Cafe. Paul, it is a pleasure to hear you and see you online. Hopefully I will see you offline very soon. Let the people know where they can find you, and then let's hear that fire, brother.
Oh, great. Yeah, it's just always, well, see, I'm missing the words. I'm just glad to be here with everybody again. You know that. I'll put the context in the chat when I'm done. I'm putting this up for the late, great Dean Johnson, Lee Bowery, Mother Flawless, Sabrina, Anna Maria Simo, Brian Buttrick, Sapphire, people I was lucky enough to share stages and mics and venues with. And I'm really down with everybody here who's asking us to remember, because for people and my age, you know, in this country, being homosexual was classified as a mental disorder until the year 1973. If this is a poem, it has a title, Virtue Versa. What do you think caused your heterosexuality? How did you decide you were a heterosexual? Is it possible your heterosexuality is just a phase that you may grow out of? Is it possible that your heterosexuality stems from a neurotic fear of others of the same sex? How old were you when you came out as being heterosexual? Why do you insist on flaunting your heterosexuality all over the place? Can't you just be who you are and keep it quiet? Why do heterosexuals put so much emphasis on sex? Why do heterosexuals feel compelled to get others to try their lifestyle? Have you ever been hetero-bashed? Do you consider it wise to expose children to heterosexual teachers? Have you ever been to Hetero Week at Disneyland? Just what do men and women do in bed together? Considering the menace of overpopulation, How could the human race even survive if everyone was a heterosexual? There seem to be very few happy heterosexuals. Techniques have been developed that might enable you to change if you really want to. Have you considered heterosexual therapy? Heterosexual aversion therapy? Do you like to dress up at home in front of a mirror as a heterosexual? Have you ever thought about adopting a child to get around being a heterosexual? Would you want your child to be heterosexual, knowing the problems and comedy routines they would have to face? When was the last time you were turned down for a job because it was obvious how big of a heterosexual you were? As a heterosexual, do you feel safe in public holding hands or kissing? What is your favorite hetero-friendly local business? Do you own a hetero pride flag? How do you know for sure that you are not just hetero curious? What heterosexual support groups do you belong to? As a heterosexual, do you feel you have any chance at all of being a fully entitled member of consumer society? Why do heterosexuals do so many party drugs? Why are so many heterosexual people into Dolly Parton, Lady Gaga, Miley Cyrus, Madonna, Stevie Nicks, Celine Dion, Barbara Streisand, Miss Piggy, and Burt Reynolds? What's the big attraction for heterosexuals at the Xena look-alike contest at Meow Mix on Houston Street? Why do you think so many LGBTQ plus people get anxiety about being around so many heterosexuals? As a heterosexual, would you feel safe living in a place like El Paso, Biloxi, Laramie, or Corpus Christi? Do your parents know you're a heterosexual? How does it make you feel being cornered against a wall like this just because you're a fucking heterosexual?
Ooh, unmute yourselves. Give some energy to Gift.
Powerful.
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
Thank you for existing, Skiff. Thank you
No,
for
this-
being
where
here
can
with
we
us.
find this? This poem is everything.
Gift. PaulSkiff.com. You want to reach out to him, follow him, PaulSkiff.com. Paul, the people are going to want to hear that poem again. They're going to want to have access to it. Make sure you go check him out. PaulSkiff.com, SKIFF. Make sure you go check him out, OG with the New Rican Poets Cafe. And he had mentioned earlier about like that up until like the 1970s that heterosexuality, see, I'm listening to Paul's poem, but like homosexuality was considered like a mental illness of some sort. And that was actually coined by the same man who coined the term writer's block. I forgot his name. I can't think of it, but you should go look it up. When I had done on my YouTube page, Advocate of Words, I had done a video on writer's block, and I looked up who coined it. And he had gone on to write about how like homosexuality was like a mental illness and stuff. It's nuts, man. It's nuts. Check it out. But Paul Skiff, go check out Paul, paulskiff.com. All right, next coming up, Mr. Andy Markert. Let me unmute this dude. I gotta warn everyone, Andy has had a potty mouth the last couple of weeks, so I don't know what we're gonna get from him this time. Andy, Brother, it's a pleasure to see you,
It's
man.
always good to see you, man. Tonight is a return to the predictable, everyday, terribly haunting, and emotionally gutting, in a non-carnal way this evening. So back
Tormented
to
artist. You're my
yeah,
king.
we're going back to tormented artist. I literally wrote this today. I don't normally bring this kind of fresh stuff into the room, but Ray Jane has to follow me, so I figured I'd just throw this out there and figure it out. This piece is called Ecstasy in 5 parts. 1. I am 8 years old. I sit alone reading Last of the Mohicans on a playground. My legs trickle sweat under thick, clear plastic binds. My mother made me wear shorts today, which means everyone can see the braces that make me other. A girl, so pretty I could have sworn she was what angels are supposed to be, asks me to play house. My fingers have never trembled so much in joy. I ask if I get to be the husband. She tells me I get to be the cripple baby. I have never felt joy before in so much pain. 2. I am 14 years old, timing outburst with guard reaction, making a treatment center move to a dance we choreographed. This is the pinnacle of my power in this place, to steal 10 minutes in a padded room with her, another angel my body makes real under white knuckle grip. We coded a sign language of love in our hands, now snorting lines off each other's palms. We kiss, and she bites my lips so hard it bleeds. I taste the dull iron of my blood as my hand tears off a red sequin rainbow belt from her waist, hands driving into her long before I knew what it meant to touch salvation. My fingers have never trembled in so much desire. 3. I am 18 years old. I sit in a car, clutching a rainbow belt in my hands. I used it to shoot up, colors faded by the sweat and the blood of my body. He tells me I don't have to do this today. I step out into the cold rain of a summer thunderstorm. South Georgia is the only place that can freeze the blood and steam the body in the same moment. I walk to a small overgrown headstone. I sit in the mud I'd never truly climbed out of. I light a cigarette and put it on the granite. Watch it burn to the filter as if by a miracle. It was a much better tourniquet than noose, I tell her. I think it's time I give this back. I sign I'm sorry in a language long dead and leave it to the groundskeeper to find. My fingers have never trembled so much in freedom. 4. I am 25 years old, sitting on the edge of a roof of a warehouse, music pounding beneath me. I can feel the bass. I am watching a sunrise. I hear her snoring in my ear, makeup smearing on my bare shoulder. I tell myself, this is love. Cool breeze along shoulders and down a back drenched in sweat. I cannot feel my arm under the weight of a heavy head, the red ember of a cigarette matching the rosy fingers of the dawn. I have everything I could ever dream of at this moment, except security. My fingers have never trembled this much in contentment or fear. 5. I am 34 years old. I sit on a porch drinking coffee, already too hot, too early. I am alone. Save for the mosquitoes biting my legs, I idly swat them away. I spot a doe off in the distance, poised, still, and articulate power in the scrub pines. It turns its head to mine. We watch each other there and sit in stillness. My body does not move. Hers does not move. For a second, it is quiet, so quiet. before she disappears into the trees. I am everything I wanted for this moment. In this moment, my hands no longer tremble.
Ooh, unmute yourself.
That
Give
was
it up for
wow. Jeez, Andy.
That was incredible.
Thank you. Hold it down.
I just
Wow.
every single time.
Hear your words, Andy.
That was
Every
dope.
single
Yeah.
time.
Wonderful.
Wow.
Andy Markert, someone's dog came alive. I loved it. I loved it. I think that was Finn Bell's dog. That was perfect timing though, man. Andy had us in a trance. I was like, I don't even know how we can move forward now. Finn Bell's dog's like, get to work. Andy Meerkat, make sure you go look him up at Andy Meerkat. When you spell Meerkat, that's 2 T's at the end. A phenomenal writer, man. Love having this dude. Love having this dude be part of the community. And I was only making fun of his potty mouth. I am totally cool with his eroticism. He killed it. And I loved it too. Like, we got to see like this really like kind of arrogant side of Andy that we never get to see. We always see this humble, drawn back. He's like, nah, man, we're gonna let it hang. So Andy Meerkat, make sure you go check him out, okay? So before we move forward, because we got a lot of people here, I like to recognize the audience. I see that Vasilios Leon is in the audience. Vasilios, they are awesome. They are a fantastic poet. They are new to our community. They're not new to writing and performing, but they new to our community about 3 weeks. Love having Vasilios here. Also, Terry Rose Jerkson. Once again, Terry Rose shows up and is showing love, watching us. I appreciate you so much. Thank you very much. Miro is in the building. I don't think she's on the open mic list tonight, is she? No, she's just coming by here to hang out and give love. I appreciate you, Miro. We also have, I hope I say your name right, Kemlin, right? Did I say it right? Yes, I did. I think she's right. Yes, I said it right. Also, Kemlin is here. Yo, Kemlin is having the night of her life right now, man. Like, she is like jumping in the background and everything. I can imagine, like, you know, if people live with her, her neighbors are like, what is going on? Who's partying on a Monday? It's Monday. Yes, it is Monday. Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate you showing up. Again, Mariella Salazar is here. You know, where has she been? Partying in the UK and whatnot? What the hell, man? Hopefully she comes here, hangs out with us this summer. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Who else is here but is not on the list? That's what I'm trying to look for. People. Luciana is here again. Luciana was just part of an anthology I saw. Yes, Luciana, she's part of an anthology. Also, she's been translating poems into it's Portuguese, right? Yes, no, yes, yes. Yeah, no, all right. Yeah, Portuguese. Okay, in the Portuguese, make sure that you check her out as well. Denise is here. Am I saying your name right? Did I say it? I did. Denise is here. I see she's having herself a good old time as well. Just like Poetic Desire. Poetic Desire is a mainstay here. She's not, I don't have her signed up on the list tonight, but she's a mainstay, giving us love. Appreciate her. Umberto Marte is here as well. Shout out to my Harlem brother. Appreciate you, brother. Boeraku in the building from Japan. Love this dude. He is fire. You need to go look him up on YouTube. Boeraku Q. Boeta Q. Check him out. Also, Mr. Speaker, who he was in New York this week. I told him to come check us out in the Bronx, man, but I guess he was partying. Last week was his birthday. We forgive him. Kevin Alexander is here again. Kevin Alexander is addicted to. It's all right. We all addicted here, Kevin Alexander. Yahira is here. Yahira Gonzalez Taylor. Yahira, I didn't see. Did the results come in? The results come in? No? Yeah. All right. I'll speak with you. Yahira here was here in the Bronx. She was running for a seat as a judge here in the Bronx. So I know I don't think we're going to find out all the full results until next month. So I'm not sure, but I'm happy to see her. Who else? I'm going to get to everyone else because I think there's someone here named Amanda. Not Amanda who we know, not Villanueva, but there's another Amanda here who's checking this out. So I don't know who you are, Amanda, but you looking over some green. Oh, she hit the party sign. She heard that we're giving her a shout out. Cool. I like your avatar. All right. let's keep it moving because we do have a lot of people on the list, and I want to be able to get to them, including those on the waiting list. Now we have Ray Jane. It's rayjane.com. It's rayjane.com. And if you are unfamiliar with Ray Jane, do not let her humble, sweet voice of saying hello fool you. She is going to bring the fire. That's why we call her Thunder Lung. Ray Jane, let the people know where they can find you, and then let's hear some Thunder Lung.
Greetings, greetings. Love to you, advocate. I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, if you like what you hear, and you'd like to hear more, you can find me at It's Ray Jane, ITSRAYJANE, or it's rayjane.com. Same thing on Instagram and Facebook. All right, so happy Pride to all you beautiful motherfuckers. I have a poem for you, and this is called What's in an Ally? There is no excuse for turning blind eye to injustice. It's preposterous to put claims on bodies and demand that they fit, to judge how a spirit takes form or how a body later conforms to it. Be whatever your light demands. Jump out them damn boxes, checked by the privileged, those who've never had to beg for a seat or say, fuck that, just do them and repeat. Keep your ill-researched attempts at PC up off my people. You can't throw a rainbow on a steeple and claim it's inclusive and call it church. God said, come as you are, but men say, get thee back from pulpit perch as ally. I close lips to listen, come with hands out to help, with open mouth to shout, to tear down the established pillars of hate devout. For some, we are already late, already. In 2021, 28, transgender and gender non-conforming shot or killed by other violent means. And in 2020, there were more fatalities than ever before, or at least since somebody gave enough of a fuck to count the bodies since 2013. But we know blood been spilling for free for far longer than what newspaper reams now dare to speak. So we utter names, shout the stories that the lost could not keep. Too early they're gone and the hateful go on. Where is the song in that? And yet, those brave enough to breathe in the open, still open chest and spread they lips, they sing gaily, sing LGBTQIA+. If you colonizers would shut the fuck up, you might learn something about the bounds of the human spirit, what courage looks like. Why it's not right that courage is even needed to just be. So I know I can't carry the world for you. I cannot ever dare speak your truth, but damn it, I can stand right beside you. I can demand that if they see me, they gotta see you. And when the hatred deign get flagrant, I will not go silent. I will fight beside you and will do the work of flouncing fools and unfooting under source facts. Show the blind nature. Show them you in that. Undo the belief that creatures made by God had to be understood to deserve worth. Did you know that in over 70 countries, it's not legal to be? In 12, you can still die by death penalty. And only 30 years ago, to love who you please was a diagnosis, was a disease. Isn't man mad to have the audacity to judge what was not created with their hands, to diminish light just because they think they can? Yet here the people stand. Before we let them unlink us, we grab for every hand, we pour our passions over us and deluge our demands. Humbly I say this, understanding too, that if I claim to be with you, I have to do my research too. Search my heart and behaviors for how they too contribute. In what rooms did I stay mute? Did I laugh along? Did I recite the most hateful speech, getting in harmony with homophobia, then washing my voice of the scene, claiming it wasn't me, that I could never be a significant part of the problem, not checking my own guns? Let me bullet this wisdom. I know you got to unlearn ignorance, and until re-educated, one can't claim innocence. So I hope to make this modest murmuring a precedent war cry to end the pestilence, the hate that offers this poem as evidence that you never needed my words to give your right to live in elegance that somehow can't be snuffed out by lobbying malevolence. Instead, I pray you take this offering to warm you in the cold of those who refuse you and scorn you. To spirit, you haven't sinned, and we should all feel honored by you for being alive, despite the hell it's been. If unwilling to fight for each other, then we die again, and we die again like we died again, revive. Unfortunately, I know how it feels to relive violence in even your simplest wills. But please understand that they can't kill, can't destroy what was made to stand. Thank you.
Ooh, unmute yourselves. Give some energy.
I know her. She's awesome.
That was incredible.
Ray Jane, it's rayjane.com. Go check her out. I told you, right? Had this nice little humble, sweet voice, right? Like, but you know, those of us who know her, we over that already. I tried to warn y'all, man. She likes to flip it. I love it. It's rayjane.com. Go check her out. I just saw that the Withdrawn came in. Shout out to Withdrawn. He's not on the list tonight, but he came in to show love. He came in right into here. Ray Jane. Also, shout out to someone named Blue. I don't know who Blue is, but they've been giving love into the chat. They really woke up with Ray Jane's poem. Shout out to them. And one more time, shout out to Whitney Salgado. So I think I mentioned everyone who's here on Zoom that's not on the waiting list or the guaranteed list. With that being said, let's keep it moving. And now we're going to Thomas Connor. Let me unmute Thomas. I'm gonna have to create a new rule. There is no more talking about baseball on Monday night online open mics. It's because my kid is out of the World Series and the Yankees suck. All right, they just suck, man. It hurts. Anyway,
so now we don't want to talk, huh?
Now we don't want to. I'm just abusing the rules as host. I'm abusing the rules.
That's all right. It's all good. It's all good.
Thomas, let the people know where they can find you, brother, and then let's hear your work.
Absolutely. You can find me at Thomas Connor at Facebook and TAC7371 at Instagram. So I'm just going to tell you, I wasn't on theme. I apologize for that. So don't jump me. So I actually had spit this before, but I revised it. I was in a cipher with my homeboys yesterday because we still think we could spit. So so I just kind of tweaked it a little bit. So y'all may have heard the title before, but I kind of changed it up a little bit. Here we go. I'm a beat minor. I'm a beat minor in B minor, a clef note in high sonic symphony. Check out my melody like Rakim and Eric B. High sonic symmetry, lyrically, dexterity, mastering hyperbole. Inherently, I break a beat, I bless the street. I bless the sheet, churn a beat. I do it for these dirty seats. I do it for the dirty streets. Simply for the dirty creeps, we be rolling 30 deep. I be rocking dirty speech, sonically mastering apophagy. Scripture by apocrypha, unaccepted by the popular. This Coptic verse, crafted by the universe, crafted by the holy dirt. I attempting to subvert from the common verse. I throwing heat to the universe with every goddamn verse. That's it.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for
you got that shit.
Bars and Mike.
That shit.
Oh, okay.
Underground, baby.
That was a Rakim reference I heard there.
Hit him with the bars, Thomas Connor. Make sure you go look him up. You could go talk baseball with him or somewhere else, man. We're not talking baseball here. Thomas Connor, make sure you go look that dude up, man. I tease him because he's a Mets fan. Listen, I make fun of the Green Bay Packer fans. I make fun of New York Mets fans, and I make fun of Boston Red Sox fans. But y'all are all welcome here. It is all love. It is all joking, sort of. No, it's all joking. All right, next coming up is Gina Nepa. Here's Gina. There she is. Let me unmute her. And like I like to let everyone know, I'm going to try to tell y'all to get ready, but you're never going to be ready. We're just never ready with Gina. And she always apologizes for it. And that's when we get mad at her. We're like, don't apologize for it. We love it. So Gina, we're not ready. The floor is yours. Oh, and let us know where to follow you and then get into it.
Yes. Hi. And also, like, I'm not sorry for anything today. So just want to make sure that that's clear before we start. You can find me at Gina Antonia Poetry. And this is like mostly dark stuff today, but I threw in like better piece. This is called Marilyn Manson, and it is a testament to living within the Me Too era. When you belted, there's no reason to live at all. I had worshipped your authenticity before learning that the women you'd raped while they were sleeping were reciting that same goddamn lyric to their therapist. You can't claim artistic liberties when you say you have fantasies every day about smashing her skull in, and then you do just that. Don't you dare claim mental illness as the impetus for the type of prolonged torture you force on women. I am more brutal to myself than you ever could be, and I still manage to restrain myself from restraining others, even when I feel as lifeless as you try to make your ex-girlfriends. I had also ferociously loved the man who had raped my sleeping body, but he had loved Marilyn Manson even more. They say you never want to meet your idol because they won't live up to your standards, but when I'm trained to play dead, to fight back the man who's woken me up with his penetration, who's wanting to live anyway, maybe, just maybe, Marilyn had been right all along. There's no reason to live at all when we have to live among people like you. Trying to survive a relationship with you or with the people who idolize you is an exercise in gruesome humiliation, but it is a goddamn death sentence to try to survive within a culture that blames, shames, and ridicules me for hoping beyond hope that you would love me enough to one day unbind me, to one day let me sleep. If you don't keep me doubly bound, society will for you. You've always liked a crowd, so I'll sing along with the rest of your victims. There's no reason to live at all. This is called 9 to 5 with a very gentle PSA to not fuck your coworkers. Your body trembles without his knowledge. You cross your legs to contain the sticky wetness, to capture the heat emanating from the burrows of your body. Your body could survive winter if he looks at you one more time. You run your fingers up your thighs, mouth opening just a bit, just enough to imagine his body heat alone making your head snap back as he talks about project goals on Google Hangouts. You project the image of your legs wrapped around his beautifully contoured face, his facial hair disappearing beneath the contours of your body. The first time you thought about fucking him, you had to turn your camera off to hide the rash slowly creeping its way over your chest, to hide the arch forming in your back. The second time you said you would be right there, you said, just a minute, and pulled up a private tab on your phone to watch 3 people ravage each other as your whole being perked. You were late to the meeting. The third time you watched his eyes flicker across the screen, taking in all the attendees as you rubbed that spot behind your ear, your secret pleasure center. You imagined his musk rubbing off on you, imagined rubbing him off on you. The meeting ended before you got to the climax. This is called Premature. I fuck myself harder than my psyche does. When you tell me I mean nothing to you, I didn't realize you'd finished before I did. This is preferential treatment. My mind beats the shit out of me harder than my high school boyfriend. At least he told me he loved me. And then this is called Dignity. The day you realize he's not good to you, he's not good for you, he's not good. You realize you're allowed to be. You realize generosity extends to you as well when you stop focusing on how to keep him extended and instead focus on how to keep your character amended. You allow yourself to be a better person. You can get him off, but you'll never get him to be kind. The only thing I wanted from you was a chance to see myself in a different light, but instead what I saw was myself in a perpetual fight with a moral compass that had left me lost more than found. So when you try to find your own way, when it gets dark up there for you too, I won't be there because I want me to. That's it. Bye. Thank you. I'm not sorry.
Ooh, yeah, she's not sorry.
Never sorry. Never sorry. Oh my God.
Damn. I'm sorry. Damn, Gina.
We know the safe word. It's cool, Gina.
Gina Nepa. Oh, I'm never ready. And I love it. I love it. And I love how she could go like in so many different directions, man, that she can express her sexuality and then she could also fucking like check toxic sexuality. She could also talk out against like sexual assault and be like, I love that bravery, because there's just a lot of people in society, they feel they can only do one or the other. And they're like, oh, you know, I don't want to look like I'm straddling the fence. No, you can have two thoughts. And Gina puts it beautifully. Gina Nepa, look her up. Gina, go put your information in the chat, because I know you got a bunch of new fans who are going to follow you now. Gina Nepa, love having her around these parts. Next coming up is Propaganda Poet. I just love his flag, man. Love his flag. Love this dude's energy. Propaganda, where can we find you? Now let's hear your fire, brother.
What's up, y'all? There's all my stuff in the chat. There's a lot of going on. But I just want to say, again, never underestimate the power of your art in your community. And I just cannot thank you all enough for being who you are and doing what you do. Nothing makes me happier than seeing you all being your best selves. And I just want to say this real quick. And you know I love Nuyo on Monday nights. You know that I love it more than anything. But I have to say, with love and respect, I can't think of a better place on earth to be right now than in between Gina and Amanda. Like, that's an amazing thing. Thank you so much. I have 3 short pieces tonight. The first one is not, I just wrote this one while listening to you. The second 2 are theme adjacent. So the first one is called Ode to the Storm Gods. You always strike twice. You are thunder and lightning answering the call. We rain dance in awe. Raw power crashes the sky. Inspiration calls. Baptized by music, communing with poetry. These are my churches. And then another short pieces. These are theme adjacent. The first one is called Shadowboxed. As the angel stared, its shadow spoke silent hues, painting hard questions. Why blindly follow? Forget the nature within, disguise it in sin. Self-abuse reflex this, the true fall from grace, denial of self. Better to rise up, divine in your own beauty, light up their darkness. And then this last piece is called Say It With Pride. My pronoun? That one dude who just kicked your disrespectful ass, fucker. Thank you all. I love you all. Thank you for encouraging my behavior, and thank you for being who you are and doing what you do.
And buy his book too.
Give it up for Propaganda Poet.
Yes.
Propaganda's a
Amazing
beast.
propaganda.
Storm Force, brother.
Propaganda's a beast.
Fantastic.
Propaganda Poet. Make sure you give him a follow. Bearwolf on Facebook. Love this dude's energy. Next coming up is the other poet he mentioned, Amanda Villanueva. Let me unmute her. Yes, Amanda, who I got to hang out with this weekend. It's good to see you again. And I think you're going to be performing now too, right? You're going to perform at like one of the next ones?
Maybe. You never know.
All right, well, the people better follow you so they can find out that info. Amanda, let us know where we can follow you online. Now let's hear your poetry, sis.
Thank you so much for having me. You can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Medium, Amanda Ashley Villanueva. The piece I am reading today is called Una Llamada para Cali, which translates to a phone call for Cali. And this piece is a conversation between myself and Kalima, which is the goddess of destruction and rebirth. And I'm really excited to read this. So let's get into it. Whew. Una llamada para Kali. This fickle face I may not know much of, but this fickle face I cautiously carry in mind. This face is trapped in the small of my spine. This face has a machete for a tongue and loves to lick me up and down. Loves to bend me over until I am in a coma. This face knows it is addicted to the fun of destruction. Your weapons serve my breakfast, even before my eyes beckon the new day. Your sacred spikes make way for my splendid spice. Your head wrap serves my midnight snack. No arched armor, no forced invitation, no disheveled disbelief that you are you without me. Your legs tied to my feet, they be like extension cords, viney, grounding from the center of our earth. We get too drunk on junk, too drunk on chunky chins, until your roar keeps me ferociously frozen, keeps me meticulously molded until I ask for repentance. You tell me the bruise of my peach will bleed if the spoon is not steep. This soup of bones damn sure cannot be gifted on a fork. You tell me resort not to fast foods, to fake fucks, to worn out lucks and dried out faiths and shying away from what we really want to say. But if today is new, why are your blueprints being fed to me symmetrically like Smurf, crack, rock, candy to a pre-me baby, entering the world before we were in full form and still evolved into a full storm? Have you danced with Miss Hecate? Have you tried to sleep with her husband? When does the feeling of our baptism kick in? When will your boots make me stand up straight? When will my words stop sounding the same? When will you show me to decipher pleasure from pain? Anyway, enjoy my message. Call me back when you get this. Thank you.
Yes, unmute yourselves. Give it up.
Yes.
Oh,
Goddess is in the building. Yes.
Goddess did it again. I know. She's cool.
Go.
Yo.
Oh man.
Amanda Villanueva, make sure you go give her a follow. A mainstay here at the Monday Night Line Open Mic. And she's also becoming a mainstay here for this Hot Poet Summer here in New York City. She's been coming out and supporting and adding her energy. Next time, she's going to dance, though. All right. At the undisclosed after party, she danced. But then we were outside. I was trying to push her. I was like, go dance, because Amanda could dance. She got rhythm. That's the good thing I got to say. A lot of the poets that I have met have rhythm. Amanda's one of them. She was actually shy. And if you ever speak with Amanda and she tries to tell you she's shy, call bullshit. All right. Call bullshit. She's from Oakland, the Bronx. You can't be from Oakland and the Bronx and be shy. Doesn't happen. Jim Relisimo is next. Let's get to my brother. Where is he here? I don't see Jim Relisimo. I don't see him. He's not here. All right. If Jim Relisimo's not here, we gotta keep it moving. I hope he's okay.
I'm here, but my camera isn't working for some reason. I don't know why. I'm trying to get it back. It's black for some reason. I can see it's the background.
All right, how You work with it. Let me call the next poet. You work with it. And if at the end of the day it really doesn't work, we'll go without your camera. But you want us to go to the next poet? We'll come back.
Yeah. Skip 2 people. That'll be fine. Thank you.
All right, cool. So that is Generalissimo. We will get back to him. He said skip 2 people. That means we're going to go to Metronome and then Gwen C. Then we'll go back to Generalissimo. So let's go to Metronome. I'll mute her. And I don't know where have you been? Oh, I'm loving the shoe game. By the way. I appreciate that. But where have you been? How dare you get a life on Mondays? You got a new sweetie?
I'm still working on my master's and my credential and my CSETs and teaching summer school. So it's coming to an end and I'm going to come back. I miss you guys. So thank you.
Okay. I thought you left us because you fell in love or something. You know, I was like, my feelings was being hurt, man. Like, supposed to be with us. So it is beautiful to see you. I hope all is well. I hope it's been a good busy. So have you gotten on social media since we last spoke or no?
Oh, only here. You can only check me here.
Okay, awesome. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
Thank you. All right. Groundhog's Day. Stuck in my triggers, attracted to the trigger happy. Swirling in my past hurt, can't seem to find my way out. Every poem I write sounds the same, repeating the loop, record permanently scratched, can't get out of my own way. Excuse me, can I just pass by and get through? I want my joy to be renewed. Lively up myself is driving me down. I need a breakthrough, don't know what to do. I beg of you to come through. I can't seem to find my light. Where is my flashlight? Please, muse, tell me what to do. Feeling heavy and blue, running uphill, wearing the wrong shoes. Filled with grief, thinking I let go, but really I hold on to that shit with a tight grip. My fist is clenched, need to take the gloves off through this rough patch. When attached to a weight around my neck, I need to call IT. I need a tech to rewire this shit. I always look at the glass half full, but it's not working this time. I need to find a time to be kind to myself. Bombarded with confusion, delusion, stacked on a dusty shelf. Need to spring clean and purge, unpack so I can see between the trees. Turn over a new leaf. I need help from the chief. Please give me relief from the crazy thoughts trapped in my brain. I need a chill to refill, tame my mind from the fright and reframe. Please don't give me the same. I want to wake up from this fucking Groundhog's Day.
Yes, Metronome, unmute yourself and give it up for Metronome.
Welcome back.
Never leave us again. Never leave us.
Never leave us again.
That's it. You're never allowed to leave us again, Metronome. You heard the people. It's not just me saying it. It's just not me. We get really offended when you guys start to get a life offline. Like, what are you trying to do? You know, not on Mondays. Not on Mondays. Metronome. She's from Oakland, by the way. Y'all see why I love the Bay Area, San Francisco, Oakland. It keeps giving us flavor. And, you know, the more I think about it, shout out to Wisconsin. I know I make fun of the Green Bay Packers, but like, we actually got a bunch of talented people from Wisconsin, man. You know, Nathaniel, was that the Chicago Bears fan? I'm a Chicago Bears fan too. Bears down, all right? Wisconsin's giving us good art. Screw their football team, but they're giving us good poets. There we go. Oh, I love seeing the Chicago Bears fan infiltrating Green Bay. Okay, let's keep it moving. Next coming up, a fire poet. I love her, Gwen C. Wait, I saw her here before. Where's Gwen C? Did she not make it? Is she gone? Is she good? Oh, there she is. Because last time she was on the list, I was really excited. And then she gave her name, her spot to someone else because she's so kind. And I was really pissed because I really like to hear Gwen when she spits. So now she is here. Gwen, where can we find you online? And then let's hear your fire.
Thank you. It's Gwen C, CEE everywhere. And I think I've been giving up my spot because I think that COVID has allowed me to get punked again. So I might be getting some stage fright again because of COVID. So this is not a good thing. All right. I'm going to do this short piece here. I cried in the shower, wrapped in a red towel, hoped the weight of its wetness would make my tear-drenched body lighter. Water tap danced at my feet. I run, yet no one came. Pink razor rested in palm, made varicose legs smooth, something life never was. I've been worried since age 3. And then I'm going to do this other piece. I'm kind of cheating. I did not write it for today, but I have wrote it for the Human Relations Board here in Louisville. So I wrote it for this launch that we were doing back on January 1st. My people, they don't always look like me. They don't always think like me. They don't always know me, nor do I know them. But we all have a connection to each other's well-being. We are grounded, blooming atop our stems of difference. We grow fondness for one another. We were raised on scenes of greenery, choosing not to weed anyone out. Believing in growth and development, we know every petal counts. My people are those who attempt to disband systemic oppression because they understand it is a real thing, a real broken thing, one that has worked for many and harmed millions. My people are those whose thesis is to love is to know greatness. They feel joy when another curves them a smile, honor the work of hands, value beyond measure individual traits, seek sisterhood and foster brotherly love. My people are the people's people. They are ready to march like I, in rain, sleet, snow, heat, or wind. They work hard in day, yet in night, their efforts do not cease. They delve into their desire to break ground on which they walk to, till peace. My people are true expressionists of genuine interests. They are guardians of today, gardeners feeding the future, seed planters even in silence. My people be phenomenally regular, like blends of trends and artifacts real like pyramids. My people be timeless sunsets. They see every second as doorways to opportunities to make the world a better place. Their actions speak volumes. They are testimonies and truth, essays of evolving, paragraphs of people-orientedness, novels of notable wisdom and nonfiction, articles of appreciation. My people are syllables that sound like service, pages of purpose, poems of protection, free verse, fact-checking and fight, willing to burn bridges that aren't pathways to equity. My people are Kentucky and Texas, cultivating a sense of togetherness. My people are heirlooms, a special collection of God's work, like branches of spontaneous growth, limbs we go out on for others, leaves representing our natural state, our survival, and our returning season after season with harmony and balance. My people are seedlings. They grow by promoting the progress of others. They are rooted in legacy. They see the worth in themselves, but more so in you, my people. In peace. Thank you.
See, I was happy to get her.
Wow.
Give it up for Gwen C.
Oh my
Stage fright, why?
Thank you.
Oh.
Appreciate it.
Damn.
Gwen, yes.
Amazing, Gwen. Glad to hear you again.
Gwen's my people.
Yeah.
Did I not tell you, Gwen C? Get over that stage fright, or just deal with it and come by. All right, like Mondays is for us, man. That's what that's what needs to be. You need to think, Gwen. I can't disappoint advocate. I need to be there. Gwen C, make sure you go give her a follow. Off the hook. All right. If Generalissimo is ready, yes, he is. Let me unmute him. There we go. Go ahead, brother. Let the people know where they can find you, and then let's hear your beautiful poetry.
Oh, well, this is a big month. On the 25th is my 55th birthday. On the 24th, I am doing a workshop with Tumble Words. I'll put everything into the chat a little later. That's going to be called Breaking Rules and Creating New Poetic Forms. That evening, I have a birthday party with my very special Siamese twin who's 15 years younger than me, Marissa Prada. It's called Roast or Toast the Host, and it's being sponsored by The Word Is Right. And also, either on the 12th or the 19th of this month, which is a Monday, around 5:30 or 6, I'm going to start my own open mic, which I hope to be a sort of a pre-New Year warm-up event called Cafe Generalissimo. And it'll just be sort of a loosey-goosey open mic. And go ahead and pull up what I have for you for tonight. The first is a very personal haiku. I didn't come out, I just lived as I was born and nobody else. Number two, the other day, our friend Deadpan Lizzie had a little post where she had a picture of her on the Met on the steps of the Met Museum. She was between her real estate appointments. So I did a little ekphrastic poem based on that, on the photograph she did of herself. It's called Red Carpet Lizzie at the Met. She stood on the steps of the Met Museum, the grand building housing grand art, where she once saw an exhibit of 18th century Cartier jewelry. The stories of aristocrats putting themselves in debt to keep up with the Joneses seemed like a storyline from a movie. She drank a cardamom-infused iced matcha latte on this sweltering summer Manhattan day. She didn't think about which designer would design her dress for the Met Gala. She didn't imagine flashbulbs flashing as she ascended the red carpet in potentially crippling high heels. She thought about how impractical those French aristocrats were and how impractical it must feel to wear a dress you could barely walk in worth tens of thousands of dollars. And what if you spilt red wine or whiskey on it? And how happy she was to be a real estate broker, a well-regarded poet, and a practical lesbian who looks kick-ass in a leather jacket. Thank you, Lizzie, for allowing me to read this poem.
Thank you for writing it. I love it.
Nice,
I love
nice,
you.
very nice, General.
I'm going to do a couple haikus if you don't mind, Advocate.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were done. Hold on. Let me mute everyone.
So 1, the 11th commandment. Thou shalt not forsake individuality for thy poetry.
Wait. Hold on. I'm sorry. That was my fault, Jeremy Lee Small. You're going to have to start from the beginning. I was going around muting everyone so that we can hear just you. Let me unmute you so we can just hear you. I'm sorry. And also, I was really anticipating that poem about Deadpan Lizzie because she spoke about it very glowingly when we all got up. So go ahead. Floor is yours.
Okay, 1, the 11th commandment. Thou shalt not forsake individuality for thy poetry. 2, self-portrait. I painted myself with words and ink on paper to make poetry. 3, I set a haiku on fire by biting my tongue and burnt my mouth down. 4, a haiku chased me around in circles for hours till I caught my tail. 5, celery and palms and artichokes all have hearts, but poets have souls. And 6, a genetic blood disease with no cure. We are family whose blood coursing through our veins creates poetry. Thank you, everybody.
And now we give it up for Jeremy.
Yes, G! I love that. All that.
Nice to
It was so beautiful.
Loving it.
Jerry Lee Simo, love that dude. Make sure you go give him a follow. He's one of these dudes. He goes to everybody's workshop. He makes sure he gets it in, and he is doing everyone's open mic. I love it. He's hungry for this stuff. Love it. Jerry Lee Simo, make sure you give him a follow. So next coming up, I'm excited to bring this dude up because when I was doing, I'm in a group called El Grito de Poetas. And we didn't come across many other collectives like us who were like doing music or poetry and stuff like that. And then we came across this group called the Rednecks, right? But it's spelled Rednecks, R-E-A-D-N-E-X. And they are fire. They were doing music and poetry. So it was really dope, right? It was almost like the Avengers and the X-Men meeting. Like, oh shoot, you got powers and y'all get together and y'all do things. That's awesome. We do the same thing. So he hit me up. He said he was gonna come by. I'm happy for it. And that is Daniel Villegas. I'm trying to unmute you, D. There we go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, brother.
Yeah, boy. What's up, Advocate, man? It's been a long time. I'm so proud of you and everybody on the chat, man. Y'all doing your thing. So, yeah, you can find me, Daniel Villegas Music. And, it's been a minute since I've been away. I was going through some rough times, but thank God for the opportunity to get back into the scene. So I'm coming back, and I'm grateful. And I'm actually going to do this piece that's all in Spanish. So for those who know Spanish, you can ride with me. For those who don't, you can feel my vibration. And this piece is called Hip Hop Poema. Here we go. ¿Qué más te explico cuando digo lo que yo me siento? Miro adentro y veo que cambio como el tiempo. Las horas van contando los segundos y mis sentimientos cuando rapeo. Me vuelvo como un Iron Man, volando por el cielo para sentir la rapidez. Me foco en las partes como un arquitecto, fluyendo con el ritmo para ser el best. Lo mejor es como viendo como una flor abre en la mañana y cierra con el temblor. La luna brilla fuerte con su resplendor. De planeta cuando gira para ver mejor. De planeta cuando gira para ver mejor. La fuente como la mente si estás presente, lograr ser el presidente si estás decente, la gente que grita grillos como un grillo cuando están en un partido de fútbol no es lo mismo de ver hip hop actualizado, se escucha en los barrios, en los sicarios, no quiero droga, sin embargo uso mis palabras como estrellas para alcanzar la meta sin alcahuetas, lo que sí es cierto, enfrentar la vida bien directo, ¿qué más te digo? Yo amo la vida como un pequeño, ojos abiertos y listo todo para cuando cambie el viento, imaginar todo lo que tengo adentro, convertirlo en pura luz cuando yo lo siento, puro amor para este hip hop es lo mejor, punto a punto sin errores, este mundo entero quiero sanar como flores, que cambie sus pedales con su buen humor. La fuente como la mente, el residente se siente en la mente para por fin estar con paz con Dios cuando oro así. Cheer.
Yeah, unmute yourself. Give it up for Daniel.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yes, Daniel.
Fuego, en fuego.
Go.
Dope.
That was awesome.
Daniel Villegas. Daniel, put your information, type your information into the chat as well so people can follow you. It's so good to see you, brother. I was touring colleges with Grito, and we'd pass them while they were touring. We're going north, and they're going south. And then we're going south, and they're going north. Oh, we're going west. They're heading east. We would crisscross. It's so beautiful to see you, man. Blast from the past. I'm happy to see you doing it and that you got the energy. Hopefully, you are not a stranger here. You come part of the community. We getting up. Like I said, during the summer, so if you're around, please come through. Make sure you go check this dude out, Daniel Villegas. Oh, man. Now I got to go tell all my peoples in Grito that you came through. They're going to be like, what? Rednecks in the building. Also, take some time to go look them up. Rednecks it's spelled like Reednecks, Readnex. All right, go check them out. Doing hip hop. Also, I used to run a website called hiphoppoetry.com. So, I was partial to that. You know what I'm saying? I was partial to that. Good seeing you, Daniel. All right, next coming up is Tara Lee. I love Tara Lee. And I love saying her name because she is so sweet and she is anything but a terror. Don't sleep on her words, man. They'll cut you. Tara, let people know where they can find you online, where they can get your books. Then let's hear your poetry, sis.
All right. Hey, everybody. It's good to be back. I'm going to show this now. My name is Tara Lee. I'm from Chesapeake, Virginia. Here's my stuff, my website, everything. Yes, you can get my book there too through Amazon, and I will post that all in the chat for you guys later on after I'm. So this poem that I have, I took the word with it so much that I had my mom sign a consent form for it so that she will never talk to me about this poem after I read it. Yes, Mom, I called you out. But here goes. They want me to celebrate pride, the freedom to love who I want, when I want, how I want. So here goes. He's near 6 feet, and when we stand by side, I'm so tempted to rest my head on his shoulder, because like I said, I'm the perfect height for that. He's better than me physically, but I always beat him mentally. If you put our skills together, you would get the perfect person. He reminds me that I deserve better. Oh no, not. He reminds me that I deserve better, spoils me with his pure honesty. We forget where we are sometimes, or better yet, those around finally notice what we can't. But just as God admonishes the bond in same-sex marriages, everything tells me he's against our potential. I wish I could say something, but I'm staying in this closet. Yes, end poem. I'm done. I got that out finally. Yes.
Wait, say that last line again. The Wi-Fi messed up. Say just the last line.
The last line. Okay, I will start here. I wish I could say something, but I'm staying in this closet.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Tara Lee.
Thank you, Tara Lee.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Hearing your words. Nice to see you tonight. Yes. Much appreciated.
Tara Lee. Oh, putting yourself out there. Have you ever had to put yourself out there so much that you had to have someone sign a consent form? Like, that's nuts. That's nuts. I love it. Tara Lee, make sure that you go look up, give her a follow. I've had such a great night. We got a couple minutes left. We're going to get to the waiting list, maybe one person on the waiting list. But I just want to give a shout out to the community. You guys make Mondays so awesome. Thursday night, if you can't wait till Monday night, Thursday night, La Bruja hosts the New York Poets Cafe's next open mic every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. La Bruja hosts it. And of course, next week, Monday, we will be back here. The topic, the theme is naked. If you want to have a potty mouth and a potty mind, go ahead. I'm all with it. Like I always say, I can't be brainwashed. I have a dirty mind, so I'm all for it. Or if you want to flip it metaphorically, which is actually the way I had been thinking about it, because an ex had written a poem. It's actually my favorite poem written about me, called Naked, and talking about like her like stripping down like all her defense mechanisms and being with me. It was so hot. I was like, oh, that's awesome. So of course, you can do that, or you do it however you want. You got poetic license. Every time you write a poem, you have poetic license. If no one told you, now I've told you. So now let's get to the urban cowboy poet here on our waiting list. There we go. Brother, let the people know where they can find you online. Then let's hear a legend.
You can find the UCP at Urban Cowboy Poetry on Facebook and YouTube. But he is actually let me take his spot for him. My name is John Hammond, and he told me the theme for tonight, too. I manage a wildlife sanctuary full of adventure, a bit scary. Not the place to be in after dark. Welcome to Jurassic Park. You know dinosaurs through their bones, but now we produce living clones. We found their genes in bugs and amber when we open them with a hammer. As zoologists have managed at last to recreate the distant past. I invite your gallery to wax poetic about our breakthrough in genetics. Today, our lab announced a new batch of eggs that we're about to hatch. We cloned many species. It is thrilling to give life to 17-ton children. Come ride with me. Your eyes will feast on giant prehistoric beasts. Oh, see what's coming over the hill. A hadrosaur with its big duck bill. Stegosaur, triceratops. I spy an apatosaur above the treetops. A brachiosaur, and look what's next, the mighty Tyrannosaurus rex. Yes, there are some carnivores that prey on plant-eating dinosaurs. Allosaurs, velociraptors too. They feed on herbivores, not on you. Whoever told you it's not safe lied. It's been days since anyone died. Just so you remember to keep your favorite body parts in the Jeep. If you wander onto paths unbeaten, there's a small chance you'll get eaten. Those are the rules. If you follow along, then nothing can possibly go wrong. We clone cells 200 million years old. Their populations are tightly controlled. Don't listen to those breeding tales. The dinosaurs here are all females. Uh-oh. Oh no. My scientists are reporting in their blogs they use DNA from transgender frogs. The most fearsome creatures ever on Earth are rejecting their gender assigned at birth. Hormones were making the females bothered. They yearned to be mothers. They needed fathers. Up until now, they've managed to hide their sex change. Now they flaunt it with pride. Seems we have a situation, an exploding carnivore population. I see some chasing us in the mirror. that means they're closer than they appear. Whichever way this day ends, be sure to bring all your friends when you return to Jurassic Park. I gotta go now. It's getting dark.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up.
Very
The
funny.
Urban Cowboy Poet.
Nice UCP. Good shit.
Always appreciated.
I couldn't
Was
find my
good.
dinosaur egg tonight. Here's a picture of it.
Oh my God.
Me holding it. I wish I had it tonight.
You look the part.
Urban Cowboy Poet. Yes, he does look the part. Go look him up, Urban Cowboy Poetry on YouTube. You can go check that out. So before we get to one more on the waiting list, I want to quickly unmute someone. She better unmute herself because she was part of the OG at the Monday night online open mic, and I just want her to say hi. Yeah, I'm talking to you. I just want you to quickly say hi.
I was like, what's happening? My screen's just like.
For those who don't know, Mariela Salazar was part of our community in the very, very beginning. In fact, she was one of the first people on the very first commercial we made, right? So it's good to see you, Mariela. Let the people know what you've been up to.
What have I been up to? I just changed careers, so I'm going to be a lawyer and I'm getting called to the bar next month. It's very exciting, but doing it to help people. So I'm doing a lot of pro bono work, helping people with child arrangements orders and things. So if anyone's getting divorced and needs help, let me know. I'm there for you. Anyone's taking your kids away, I'm also there. But that sort of thing. So yeah, no, it's been quite busy. We've opened here in London, so it's been a bit mad as well.
Awesome. Well, it's good to see you. I'm so happy. I didn't know you were gonna jump on. It was a pleasant surprise. So you know me, I had to put you on the spot.
No, always putting me on the spot. Jeez.
Yes, because for those who don't know, one of the very first open mics I did, I almost quit because I saw this woman sleeping on camera while I was hosting, and that was Mariela. So I had to shout her out. So it was good to see you. I hope I see you this summer.
Yeah, well, I'll tell your president to open the borders and I'm there.
All right, so let me get
I'm
to the
fully vaxxed as well, so double vaxxed. I'm good.
Right. So after I get to this next poet, I'm gonna call the White House. We're gonna make it happen.
Yeah. I told them there's no reason they can ban me anymore. I've fulfilled the requirements.
There we go. Thank you, Mariela. Mariela Salazar. It was good to hear you and see you. Awesome. We've been doing this for so long, 65 weeks. So it's crazy to think like we already got some history, right? We got some history. So we are going to get to Paul Conqueso, but we're not going to be able to get to Ed Poetastic, who's awesome. And he always before he gets to his poetry, he likes to do a little freestyle in the beginning. Nick Paleologos, the real Nick P, our cult leader, shout out to him. He helps occasionally host Fincabulary, which Finn Bell, that's her open mic, awesome. Roz from the Bronx, we love Roz. She's starting to blow up even more and more. I appreciate her. Tanish Kaur, she spends more time on the Thursday night online open mic, but she's started to creep onto the Monday night online open mic. I appreciate her. Unmesh Mohitkar, who's out in India, gets up early with us. Brother, I'm sorry we couldn't get to you. I think Unmesh has signed up for practically every open mic we've done in season 2 so far. Of course, Marissa Prada, she does her own workshops and open mics, and she does publishing as well. You need to check her out, Marissa Prada. Look her up, and she's a fire poet. She's awesome. I love her. And of course, GK Jayaram. Love this dude. He's been with us for I think about 6 weeks now. I enjoy hearing his work. I'm sorry we didn't have the time to get to him, but like I said, we have time for one more poet, and we're going with Paul Conqueso, a man who I got to share the stage with this weekend, got to hang out with him again, and he was saying a lot of bad things about all of you, but I defended all of you. I just want you to know, while Paul and his tequila drunk ass was talking bad about everyone, I was defending everyone, and Amanda had my back. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. It was Amanda making fun of everyone. Me and Paul were defending y'all. Paul, let the people know where they can find you online and let's see your poetry, brother.
Yeah, y'all can find me at Paul Con Queso on Instagram and Linktree. I got a workshop coming July 17th with the New Eurekan called Make It Make Sense. So if you want to take a sensory deprivation kind of workshop with me, sign up for that shit. All right, so this poem came about because I was chilling with poets, having a hot poet summer on Saturday, and Nick actually threw out a few different songs that I should work into a poem. And so this is like a challenge accepted kind of poem where I started with 2, but it kind of grew into 5. So this is called Máximo. Te extraño. How much though? I mean, you fucking know this, but I'm hopeless. See, I'm like 2 different human beings inside one body at times, that Jekyll and Hyde energy. I hide the better me inside this Russian nesting doll of life of the party. You know, I learned from a friend the hard way that if you try hard, you die hard. Because he was always up to start some shit. Levels of RPM turned to 1200, but he crashed into the side of his own temple one night, not his offering to any goddess, but the ones of love and life. Because despite some judgments and conceptions, for many, killing oneself is just the terminal stage of depression. It's up to us to learn the lesson. See, when masking, it's not enough. And you just can't seem to cease cheating on self with all your worst intentions. Baby, I just don't get it. Do you enjoy being hurt? I know you smell the perfume, the makeup on his shirt. You don't believe his stories. You know that there are lines. Bad as you are, you stick around, and I just don't know why. If I was your man, baby, you never worry about what I do. I'll be coming home back to you every night, doing you right. You're the type of woman that deserves good things. Fistful of diamonds, a handful of rings. Baby, you're a star. I just want to show you you are. You should let me love you. And that's all I desired, honestly. But the truth be told, most days I'm not even sure how to love me. I mean, when you're both the victim and the aggressor, who do you run to for help when the self-care check engine light comes on and welfare wellness checks hit? And I pass every test, but there's still a sense of post-traumatic self-entitlement. I grab a drink, maybe 2, maybe 6, maybe 8. Who's really counting? Drowning in distraction. And it's fucked up too, because all I ever wanted to do was love the wounds out of you, out of me. Shower you with Besos booty rub, stare into eyes, tussle hair, be your piece. Like we fatigued of respective PTSD, but often I just compact the pain by chasing it. A salt-lined rim of grim reaping, because I tend to be death eater, coming for everyone's essence, and it seems at times I'm too much mess for anyone else. So on the days I can't run to numb quick enough, my triggers pick me up like a river's whitewater current. And as I'm stirring, legs churning, rapid to surface, above destruction, but the violent tide keeps running, find my calves striding, aquatic, futile moving, yet I stay in place, a treadmill of weightless grace. Taking shots to face, no Kurt Cobain. I was never the type to complain, rather internalize this pool's deep end suffering, stomaching that perhaps it's never the right time to say goodbye. But I know you gotta make the first move. Always got problems all around me, even when the problem ain't about me. What's that even say about me? Hablando por email when I'm wasted and I can't even hold a conversation. Texts come through another language. No, you're running out of patience, running out of ways for me to fake it. And mommy, believe when I wake up to see this most incoherent side of me, that no one hates me more than I do. And you already told the Uber to flee, and you chose to leave with it rather than allowing me to take you down with this ship. Waiting for you, even how you treat me. You're my baby, even when you leave me. Maybe I'm the one to blame. Maybe I'm the cause of the pain. When it doesn't live here, think I might be addicted to abuse like I am attention. Like that I mentioned, sometimes I tend to seek quick fixing medicine, and these verses don't always work as intervention. I can never be mad at you. I don't think you have to do anything but be you to make me swoon, but that's dangerous, makes me anxious. Shit, so if pride is my ally, then I'll swallow it. Along with each capsule, all the solution in this bottle, in hopes it brings about cure, cause you're way too beautiful, girl. That's why it'll never work. You have me suicidal, suicidal when you say it's over. Damn, all these beautiful girls, they only want to do you dirt. They'll have you suicidal, suicidal when they say it's over. And now we're fussing and now we're fighting. Please tell me why I feel so slighted. Instead of running to answers, the slowest forms of cancer coursing their way through me. Cracked phone screen, just like cracks in trust. In spiderweb glass of storefront, from bullet hole shattering, supposedly bulletproof majesty. And see, most days I really just don't get it. Do I enjoy being hurt? Maybe I'm the one to blame. Maybe I'm the cause of the pain. All too often leaving the fray feeling suicidal, but I won't say it's over, because after all I done grown through and survived, ain't no one ever gonna have me suicidal again when they say it's over. But when you say te amo, te quiero, te adoro, te extraño, todo eso, I can promise you a part of me died, because I'd rather suffer inside than to know I'm the cause of the pain it takes for someone you know cares for you so much to hurt so badly they push you away only to say goodbye. Until the next time.
Unmute yourselves and give some love to Paul.
Oh my God.
Bring it in.
Yes. All right, Paul. I see you. See you. I see you.
Paul con queso. You can find him on Tinder and that poem. Just joking. Look him up, Paul con queso. He's hosting a workshop on July 17th for the New Eureka Poets Cafe, and he's been featuring at different spots and performing. Make sure you give this dude a follow. He's a mainstay here at the Monday night online open mic. It was so good to see y'all beautiful faces. Make sure that you give me a follow at Advocate of Words. When you spell words, that's with a Z at the end, you know, hip hop, poetic license, what. And as the tradition, I no longer say the poem at the end of the night. I'm getting everyone else to do the work for me, and I'm getting all the credit, and I love it. Tonight, closing us out is going to be the man who is co-hosting behind the scenes and looking out for me from the Bronx, Ron Mark Thompson. He's got the poem ready. He's going to say the Goodnight Sweet poem. I appreciate him. Thank all of y'all. I'm going to see y'all next Monday. Make sure to, like I said, Thursday, La Bruja hosts. She hosts the open mic that night. So if you can't wait till Monday, check that out. And hopefully you've been following everyone else in the community because they're doing other stuff. So, you know, tomorrow you ain't got to be like, man, what do I got to do? Follow the community. I'm sure something's going on. With that being said, Mr. Ron Mark Thompson, brother, take us home.
Yes, sir. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for sharing what you've written. Thank you for being an LGBTQIA ally. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Thank you for your support, for standing by us. Good night, sweet poet. May your dreams be as imaginative and supportive as tonight's poems. Good night, sweet poet. Thank you for inviting the spirit of Miguel Algarin into your home. This has been the Monday night online open mic presented by the New Eureka Poets Cafe, produced and hosted by none other than our own great ally, Mr. Advocate of Words. On behalf of the community tonight, I, Ron Mark Thompson, would like to say, have a safe, beautiful, and good night, sweet poet. Peace.